look at that. Look at that, everybody. Welcome to the Johnny Beane Show. My name is Andrew, also known as Fender Guru. Appreciate you all for jumping in and spending some time with us. Eventually, our friend from the UK, Simon Williams, will be here. We had to start the show a little bit early because Johnny's had a hell of a day. Thank you for hanging out with us. So somewhere in the chat, we'll have some people to say hi to. Hey, David Ennis, thank you for joining us. I'm Fender Guru, also known as Andrew. Where's Johnny? Hope everyone's safe. Oh, here we go. Now we've got to pay the bills. Become a channel member. Join the join button. Somewhere on here, somewhere, there's a join button. And you can become an executive producer like Charles Green, Mike Nees, Joe Christian, Michael Smith, Thomas Santiago, David Ennis, Music Therapy Laz, Steve Carmichael.
Steve Carmichael. Steve Carmichael. Steve Carmichael.
Famous people.
Hey.
Awesome, man. Good to see you.
Hey, man. Hey, well, I mean, I'm glad to be here, dude.
Kia ora and greetings from Aotearoa, New Zealand. Thanks for having me on your show. Been a long time fan, Johnny. Been a long time fan of your show and all the cats in the chat. Eventually, hopefully, over the next hour or so, we might be able to say g'day to them all. But thank you for having me on. Later on, we'll get Simon Williams, who's a co-host with me on our British Blues show. So he'll jump in and announce himself and have a couple of things to say, I am sure. But yeah,
it's 4 in the morning where he is.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's like 3 a.m.
He gets up early. Hey, he's not going to miss this party. He's not going to miss this party. But no, seriously, thank you for the invite. Been a long time fan. As I've said to you before, you know, your show's responsible for me buying this.
Oh my gosh, what is that?
That's the 5150.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, the EVH one. And also you guys are responsible for me making some mods, you know, putting the brass block on, changing the pickup, putting a German Floyd Rose. So yeah. No, I appreciate it. Appreciate the advice. But also,
right on.
Also, Johnny, what's really inspiring about your show and a couple of other shows that I watch is that it gives us nerds an opportunity to talk about nerdy things.
You said nerdy, right?
Nerdy, I did, yeah. Like pickups and action heights and, you know, and
action.
Action, yeah.
Wow. Well, hey, man, I'm glad you're here. I know it's been a long time. I don't know if you've ever have you ever been here? Have we ever talked?
No. Simon's spent some time with you a couple of years ago. I think he jumped in on a show, but no, I've not been on a show. So I've popped my cherry.
Uh-oh. Where is it? Is that it? Do you have one of these yet? Every show gets one of these. That's what they all do it eventually. You know, sometimes a couple different ones.
Okay, I get the message. All right then. So to graduate to the next level, because you're responsible for us doing our show. After watching you and realizing, you know, people are interested in some of these things. They're interested in what kind of reverb did they have on Diver Down? You know, was there reverb? You know, was it something that was added after, or was it something that was recorded live? So you know, I took that kind of, you know, interest that you were doing on your show with Dave Nesdell and Steve Anderson.
Well, he left. He's not around. Yeah, Steve left as well. Yeah, eventually everybody leaves me. That's what happens. Jay is still here. Thankfully, Jay is still here. So
Yeah, well, he's a cool cat. It's so yeah, we'll shout out to Jay. But you know,
love you, Jay.
I know that you're a humble guy, and you know, I know that you don't like blowing your own trumpet, but you're responsible for
Is that a move? How do you do that? I wouldn't even know how you'd even do that.
I know that you're responsible for a few cats getting a few channels out there. So, and we always acknowledge you. So, thank you. And also, you know, thanks for sharing some guys to jump on and raid us a couple of times. That's always been a laugh.
Oh yeah, I have a great time doing that, doing the raids. You know, yeah. Who knows? It's still early here, supposedly. What time is it there? Where are you?
Yeah, so I'm in Hamilton, New Zealand, and it's
what month is it? Wait, what year is it over there?
So it's Friday. It's Friday, 5 p.m. So you're still Thursday, aren't you?
Yeah, Thursday, 9:11 p.m. right now.
Yeah, awesome. Hey, do you want to say hi to some of the cats in the chat? Is that cool?
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. We got Pooh Ninja. Hey man, we got Jeff Alexander on Facebook. It looks like we're live on Facebook as well.
Awesome.
Which is something I kind of stopped doing on some of the other shows for a lot of the swearing, a lot of the all the stuff, the other stuff that goes on some of the other programs. I was getting in trouble on Facebook, so I stopped streaming to Facebook for some of that stuff. But looks like we're live on Facebook tonight. Jeff Alexander is here. Hey Jeff. Brian Spalding. He's the king of the Discord, man. I don't know if you're. Oh, wrong one.
All cool cats.
There we go. I don't know if you're on the Discord. Actually, our good friend Tessie Switch is actually in the Discord right now.
Yeah, I'm a Discord dude. I'm in your Discord.
He's in there right now, actually. Right now.
Oh, is he?
And Tessie Switch, everybody. If you want to get your Tessie Switch, let's see. Where's have you seen Nightbot? Have you met Nightbot?
No.
Let's see. I'll introduce you to Nightbot. Okay, there's the link. There should be the link right there in the chat on YouTube. And yeah, get your Tessie Switch. Is it there? It should be. There it is. Use code JohnnyBean15 when ordering from tessieswitch.com/shop. Get 15% off. I think most items. I think. But we love Tessie Switch. And let's see, who else is in here? Guitar Hack, another good friend of ours. Mickey Suttlemeyer, a channel member here on YouTube. Let's see, who else? Mark Dillon on Facebook. David Ennis, the man. David Ennis. And David Scher. Mr. Hellstorm 74. I just had pizza, so I got a burp. And popcorn. Ugh. My dinner was a mini pizza and popcorn. Pretty weird.
Healthy.
Yeah.
Meal.
Dan Willite on Twitter just liked I think our tweet from the show. Hey Dan, if you're watching us, another long time watcher, Dan Willite, man. And John Windsor is on Facebook as well. Yes. So we're live on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope. So we're live 3 different places right now. So hopefully I mentioned everybody. If not, just comment in your little chat box there, and we'll get to you. But Andrew, dude, it's so great to have you here, man. I mean, yeah, it's been a long time, and I mean, it's great to meet you. I don't know if we've ever met. Is this our first time meeting?
Yeah. No, like a lot of people, I suppose, Johnny, that hang out with you on social media. You know, we chat through Messenger and Facebook and and Instagram, and you always offer good comments and a bit of advice. So that's always appreciated by people. But yeah. So, bit of a history lesson. So, I found you by accident. I was trying to think earlier today. I think around 2012. How long have you been on YouTube doing your shows? A Different Kind of Truth came out in 2012, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And you'd been doing your show for about a year before then, do you think?
Well, I mean, technically, I've been on YouTube since 2006.
Yeah.
So every I've got like over 2,000 videos. I think I'm approaching 3 million views?
Yeah.
Or is it 4 million? It's one of them. It's one of those. But I've done a lot of videos over the years, a lot of different things. Technically, the shows that I do now kind of started in 20. Oh man, where are we? 14? 15. 2014, 15 somewhere is where the type of show I'm doing now.
Yep.
Kind of so it's been about 5 years, 5-6 years somewhat. But you see, you said you found me through in 2012 through Different Kind of Truth.
Yeah. So I remember when that album came out, and obviously there was a bit of a buzz, and like a lot of people, I'd picked up a PV Wolfgang second hand, and I was looking for some kind of lessons, to get some vibe going on, and your one came along, and yeah. So that was probably my first introduction to you with some of the early lessons that you did, and some of the advice that you were given.
Okay, cool. So you saw a lot of the early the Eddie Van Halen guitar lessons that I did.
Yeah. So that gets me to my first question. So pick one.
Wait, there's questions?
Yeah. No, when you get me, man, there's questions. So is it that? Hold on. Listen to the question. EVH elephant, EVH horse, or EVH dolphin? What's your preference?
The trick that's the most fun to play, or
you prefer? Yeah.
I would say when I'm playing, I think the most fun is the horse. The horse sound. That's the most fun, because that one really is that's a very signature Eddie Van Halen lick. Even though it's just like one or two strings. Sometimes it's one, sometimes it's two. It depends. Depends on what he's doing, but that really is a real signature sound for him, and it's like when you hear that, it's him. I mean, he was somebody very early on to do that type of sound. And if you guys don't know what we're talking about it's a harmonic, like a harmonic. What do you call them? Like bend
technique.
Yeah, where you basically, it's like bending a string and then making a high pitched squeal. That's basically what it is, and that sound, that's very, very much an Eddie Van Halen sound. Yeah.
So when you were a young guy and you were learning Eddie younger man, yeah. So I've really got a black beard, but I dye my beard grey.
Oh, you do the opposite, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, don't let this grey beard fool you.
That's actually in style, man. That's actually that's a thing with
that's why I do it.
With some people, it was not gray, but silver. Having silver hair, if you're younger and you have silver hair, that's actually a thing.
Oh, that's why they call me the Silver Fox. I wondered why. I wondered why. Hey, Amanda.
Amanda, there you are.
Yeah, wow. Always cool to see people that you bang into in the chat. Hey, yeah, I think it's it's pretty cool that you laid a lot of these videos out for us. I watched you on a stream that you did with some StreamYards people, and there was one little interesting thing that you mentioned there, that one of your tricks, one of your videos is linked into a Guitar World article. Is that correct?
Yeah, well, it was. It was
cool.
for years. For years. See, dude. That's what, if you get any press, if you ever get any press on the internet, you PDF that stuff instantly, because it can be gone tomorrow. Amanda, I know. We went live a little earlier. Amanda was messaging me earlier. And I said, hey, we're going to be live in like an hour and a half, but we're early, a little early. But no, the guitar player stuff, actually there was a few of them over the years where they linked to those videos from on the website and stuff, and I would retweet that stuff out and everything, and but no, I never PDF that stuff, and so what happened actually. Hang on one second.
Yep, no problem.
Popcorn. What happened was Guitar Player kind of like their whole organization kind of changed. I have a lot of friends who work at Guitar Player magazine, and they kind of changed around a bit. So it's kind of different now. It's not the same as it was, some years back. So the links that I used to share to my Guitar Player articles they're no longer there. They're gone. But it's true. I mean, it's true. But like I said, I should have PDF'd that stuff. I never did. So, but whatever. I mean, I'm at the point now where I don't know, just Google EVH and like I pop up for some reason. So it's fine.
So just picture this, everybody, and everyone in the chat, offer your choice too, because it's open to everybody. So just imagine, Johnny, you're a younger fellow, and you get an option to go back in time to see one of two concerts. Would it be Van Halen at the US Festival in '83, or would it be Van Halen, the Live Without a Net concert in '86? Which one? You had to pick one.
Oh my gosh. Myself, sorry, Margaret, I would go to '86.
Yeah,
I would go to Live Without a Net, the home video that we all know and love. To have been there, that's where I would go. And assuming, from that record behind you or whatever that is, that book, you're gonna say the same thing.
Yeah. Well, look, that would be my preference, of course. So, you've had quite a few shows over the years, Johnny, where you guys have spoken about, Live Without a Net, and we know that how it was important for a lot of cats in the chat too. They learnt to play guitar. That was one of the fundamental videos that people had in learning how to play the technique, because you couldn't get anything actually close enough up until then, for guitar players to study. So, for that reason too, I think it's an important one, but also the vibe, and the sound, that you get through it. It's pretty cool.
And Guitar Hack says he would go to the US Festival. Yeah, that's a classic show. But I've got a good friend of mine, Margaret, who was actually there. Actually, I know several people over the years that were actually there, and but that just sounds like a major problem finding the bathroom at that show.
Oh my gosh!
So
really? Oh no! Oh! Don't say any more.
I mean, myself, I grew up on the Live-a-thon at home video, so for me, that's my thing. 86. I mean, really, truthfully, for me, is 88. You know, the 0812 era Van Halen. That was when I, was like you said, younger. I'm still young now, but younger. And Simon, it says you're not connected. Huh? I get messages nonstop, man, on YouTube and Instagram and everything. I'm seeing all these different messages. Like my phone is like always like these messages pop up. What was I saying? The 0812 era Van Halen was really my thing, I guess. That's very special. Okay. Very special to me.
Okay, so 5150, the guitar, or the Ernie Ball Music Man?
My favorite Stripe guitar was the 5150, of course. But as far as a versatile guitar, and hey, who's this?
Here he is.
Good morning.
Who's this, man?
Me, eh?
This is the cheap effects.
Look at that, Johnny. In honour of you. An enormous pink cat. There you go.
I've got a question for Simon then.
Careful, I'm only just awake.
well, I'm asking questions. So
it's like 4:30 where he is.
So why wasn't Simon at Donington Festival in 1984 with 65,000 other English people?
What?
What? They all know each other?
Yes, we all know each other. Yes. I know all of the people who went to Donington in 1984. Of course.
To watch Van Halen.
I was busy washing my hair.
Good to see you, man. Good to see you.
See, there's a question to throw at a man at 5:27 a.m.
Oh my gosh!
Good morning. See, morning tea.
Good morning.
Oh dear, what's
that's not tea.
Is that beer? Johnny's got beer. It's not allowed. You can't have beer at 5:27 a.m. I can't.
Man, the time difference is insane here, man. For me, it's 9:30 p.m.
Yep.
For you, it's 5:30 a.m.
Andrew's 5:30 p.m.
Oh my gosh! So when you guys do your shows, you're
12 hours apart.
12 hours apart?
Yeah. We started.
Oh my gosh!
Oh yeah, because one of the. As is often pointed out to me by my friends, so you're doing a show with somebody who lives as far away from you as humanly possible. Well done. So they're really good. So yes, really diametrically opposed on the other sides of the earth to each other. It's really good.
They're like, man, we got a show in like 5 hours. Better start walking.
I pay Simon a lot of money, so
Man, yes. I should jump on with you guys.
Yeah, see, 9:30 p.m. is a good time for you, isn't it? Here we go. Who's in the chat? I saw Zach Song saying, good morning. Good morning, James Gunn. Amanda Kings, 708. Renus Pinkle, Mark Dillon. Morning, guys. How we doing? Hope we're all right. Hope we're staying safe and well in these interesting times.
Yeah, very interesting, man.
Yeah. So what have we been talking about while my back was turned? Or I was asleep?
I will hang up then. Wait for the answer of this is going to be a good question. This is a good question. All right. Okay.
I'm ready.
All right. David Lee Roth's butt exposed chaps or EVH's pink parachute pants.
Pink parachute pants, please.
Okay, all right. So
I don't know what you're talking about.
Who's gonna pick
These are choices. You have to pick one of each, Simon. David Lee Roth's buttless. Yeah.
Buttless. It does buttless.
But there's a butt in there. It's not actually buttless.
Cheek exposed.
Cheek full.
Clothless chap. Sort of.
Yeah.
Yes, materialless. Actually
or the
exposing
pink,
his buttocks to the world.
Or the pink parachute pants.
It doesn't say morning, Mickey.
But you know what's funny is all the hardcore David Roth fans that don't like Sammy Hagar, you know, they're like, hey, you know, Sammy's a wuss, but we'd rather look at Roth as chaps. You know, they'd rather look at that than hear Sammy's thing, which makes no sense. It makes no sense at all. You know?
Oh, well, I'd go for what was the other choice? Pink trousers, pantaloons or something? Or?
Yeah, Eddie's pink parachute pants that he wore in the Live Without a Net gig. They're pretty bad. They're pretty bad, those pink pants.
So you've got me on the hop now. You did grilling Simon the things he knows not very much about. Fortunately, I do know something. Thanks to Johnny. This is good.
Those pants are back in style, and the chaps are actually always in style, but you know, in some other neighborhood.
Only in a certain communities.
Those chap pants are party pants.
You won't catch me wearing pink pantaloons. I feel as though they're after my time, and I feel that's not a bad thing by a long stretch.
I'll wear them. I'll wear them. Hey, if somebody sends me a pair of pink baggy pants, I'd gladly wear those around town. You know, they're actually back in style now. Out here, that's actually a thing. You know,
that's California for you, man. That's California. Baby.
Everything out here, everything. There's a place for everything out here. You know.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's what makes it great. You know, that's what makes it cool.
Been like that since the '60s, really, isn't it?
You know,
sort of maybe before.
Always been like that. Always been like that. Yeah.
I suppose the film industry, music industry, and beatniks and all of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, look at him jamming. Are you allowed to do that? Don't play any Fleetwood Mac, okay?
Oh, yeah. Don't play any Eagles either, please.
We got banned by Fleetwood Mac the other day. Andrew played about 15, 30 seconds or something on Spotify, and he goes like, banned notice. I had to chop it out.
Oh, no. Yeah, don't play any of that stuff. I'll be right back, though. Little too much tea here, but
no problem.
Tea. Yeah.
So getting back to '84, Simon. So what were you doing? Come on.
84. No, okay, right. So 84.
And not, so 65,000. Yes.
Right, so 1984.
Van Halen.
I was in 83 to 85. No, 84 to 86. No, hang on. 79 to 82. So 82 to 85. So 84, I was in my just coming up to my third year of university, which is probably why I didn't go, because I didn't have the money either. Oh, no. How much was a Donington ticket in 1984?
Did you know anybody that went to that gig?
No, because it's interesting because we kind of 84, because I was a student, obviously. So it wasn't a very, I mean, it's just that, that metal in, heavy metal and that sort of heavy rock, in the UK in '84, I mean, had a place. But as I've said to you before on our shows, that the interesting thing about listening to Johnny and listening to particularly John Mancuso and all that, the Jay, and talking about bands that, I mean, particularly from the '80s, that really didn't make an impression over here. They really didn't, and even Van Halen really are known for one hit, which was Jump, of course. And that was their big hit here. And other than that, they are what I would call a kind of, over here, a niche band, really. They could play at Donington, because there's 150 other bands playing there as well. But they did a tour in 78, 79, I think. They did a theatre tour, so 2,000-seater thing. But after that, they came and played the festivals, but not really doing tours over here, as far as I remember. So in effect, they were in a group of bands who came and played, but sorry, Johnny, we're talking about Van Halen's profile in the UK in the 80s. Andrew's just asking what I was doing in 1984.
You said you were busy.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, washing my hair. I think no, but no.
Washing your pink parachute pants.
No, I never had those. It's not a good. In 1984, the student look was kind of. Oh well, if you can imagine Ian McCulloch from Echo and the Bunnymen, if that means anything to you. Spiky hair,
saw them.
kind of great coats,
I saw them live.
Will Sergeant.
Echo and the Bunnymen. I saw them when I this band I was in called the Mayfire.
Yeah.
11, 12 years ago. We were fortunate enough to play South by Southwest, which is the biggest music festival in Austin, Texas.
Yeah, I know South by Southwest. And this band have played there, South by Southwest.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. And so I got to, but I had a wristband because I was an artist.
Yeah.
I got to go to this exclusive little bar and watch Echo and the Bunnymen from the side stage. So I've seen them. I've seen them. Yeah. Awesome.
Well, awesome. That kind of black, that spiky hair and the great coat and kind of the black jeans. Well, that was the student uniform in 1984. So I would have been much more dressed like that than I would in pink pantaloons. That would have been a bit new romantic for me as that thing. I could just say, going back to Castle Donington, 1984, tickets £11.
They sound heavy.
Yeah. Tickets 2 hand. They're made out of lead, you see. In the old
2 hands to hold
they chiseled them out of lead and handed them out. You had to go to the local blacksmith and get one chiseled up for you, forged, from dwarf steel, and then you would carry it, in both hands, It's like something like Lord of the Rings, isn't it? You carry it. one band to rule them all. You turn up and hand over your dwarf forged ticket to the man from the gate. And look at it suspiciously.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, back in 84, I was still in diapers. So
of course, yes. So they're not able to get to but yeah, 1984, £11 to go and see who we got. AC/DC, Van Halen, Ozzy Osbourne, Gary Moore, YMT, Accept. Anyone? I've never heard of them. Have you heard of a band called Accept?
Yes.
Have you? Well done. Motley Crue and DJ Tommy Vance. Motley Crue? Motley Crue, they play.
I don't know who that is, but
much. Before your time, Johnny, of course. Amanda Coons was 6. Okay, you see.
Andrew, you're on mute.
Yeah, he is on mute. He's been muted. You've muted him. Oh, he's back. Is he back?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you now, yes.
Good.
You're unmuted.
I was just out of nappies in 1984, Johnny. I was in short pants when 1984 came out, but that was a huge album here. 1984 when it dropped here, it was huge, and obviously behind the videos, the MTV videos, and we didn't have MTV here, but Jump in Panama were huge. They were being played everywhere. So big album for New Zealand young people interested in rock and roll.
But not so much here. You see, they might have got played on late night radio in the radio in the UK. 84. No, not much in the way of commercial radio stations at all. If there were commercial radio stations, they would be playing pop music. They were playing top 20 stuff. Very much, and obviously with ads and stuff. But yeah, pretty much all top 20 during the day, competing with the flagship Radio 1, BBC Radio 1, which was the biggest radio station in the 80s by a country mile. maybe Capital Radio started. Then you've got regional radio stations, even in the UK. But pretty much Radio 1 ruled the airways. And unless, and as I said earlier, the only Van Halen song that was Jump. So they would have played Jump because it would be in the charts. But I don't think Panama, no, I don't think it even might have grazed the lower parts of the charts in the UK, but it wasn't like a top 20 hit here, I don't think. I think Jump was the only one. I mean, hence in 1984, they must have been one of the biggest bands around, certainly in the US, yeah. But here they're playing on a bill with AC/DC and Ozzy Osbourne and Gary Moore and Co. I don't know whether AC/DC are top of the bill because I'm not quite sure how the bill went. But Castle only one day, Castle. So you got those bands all in one day. No weekends, no camping, no. He went for the day, got very drunk, threw bottles of urine at Ozzy Osbourne, and left happy.
Oh my God!
we were happy in those days. Simple pleasures, pre-internet, when you could fill up a bottle with urine and throw it at the headliner.
Well, if 1984 was a big album here, 5150 a couple of years later just exploded. It was. That was just a mega hit here. It was pumped on all the commercial radio stations, and I suspect, when you look back at the history, it probably was worldwide, wasn't it? It was a crossover album, more so than probably '84. Any opinions on that?
Definitely. Well, yeah, I know there was a lot of interest because it was, the brand new singer.
Yeah.
Did they do a world? They didn't do a world tour with 50/50, did they? It was just US and Canada, right?
Yep.
I don't think there was a world. I don't think that album, because I collected a lot of live recordings, we'll call them, back in the day, and I can't remember any 50/50 shows from any other country.
No.
That wasn't until the well, let me think.
So I just look at the chart positions, Johnny. See, Running with the Devil got to 52 in the UK charts, so you're not going to get in really many shows if you get to 52. Jump got to 7, of course. Panama 61. I'll Wait 85. Hot for Teacher 87. Why Can't This Be Love was the other hit, and number 8. But Dreams 62. Yeah, so you can see that they didn't really get into the charts. You had to get in the top 30 to get on Top of the Pops, for instance, flagship UK pop program.
Right. Yeah, and they never did Top of the Pops. You never saw that.
No, and that doesn't surprise me. So they would have had the video for Jump, but they wouldn't have come just to do Top of the Pops. That would have been there, if they'd been here touring. But it seems they didn't really tour the UK. They came and they would come and do Reading or Castle Donington or something, and then go away again. Do a festival, and then go again. Kind of flying for that.
Well, they didn't come to New Zealand until '98, and that was with the third singer. So long time between. I think they travelled to Australia though. I don't know. We got anyone in the chat that might be able to answer that question? I think there's a couple of Aussies that watch your show, Johnny, that might answer that. But I think I don't know if they went to Aussie before '98.
I can probably answer that.
I don't think so.
Because they played Japan in '89, didn't they? That was a big gig.
Yeah. Yeah, they played Japan the first tour, the second tour for sure. Second tour was you see a lot of stuff from Japan from the second tour. I don't know. Somebody wake up John Biel.
While someone's waking up John Biel, so one more question. I've got a few here. So black black and white Vans or EVH striped sand shoes? Johnny?
Sand shoes? You mean the sandals?
Sneakers. We call them
the
sand
sneakers?
shoes. Yeah.
The
sneakers.
I like them both. You know, I wear them both. I think right now, yeah, I'm doing the Vans right now. You know, but they're not the black and white ones. They're like the gray ones, like the charcoal.
No, that's gray, man.
Yeah, the charcoal ones are the ones that I'm wearing.
You just washed them too many times, Johnny. Wash the color out.
Yeah. No, that's a style. That's actually a style.
Yeah. No,
the charcoal ones.
I can tell you that Van Halen have only been to Australia once in 1998.
Oh, that was the gig that they came here. Okay, that's interesting. Thanks, Simon, because I would have thought that they would have gone earlier for a gig. But so happy I saw already that tour because, you know, being a fan, you know, since the 80s and getting an opportunity to see him, and he was playing really well. It was a shame it wasn't David Lee Roth or Sammy Hagar, because, you know, those are my preferences. As much as Gary tried to do the best he could, it just
He was on a loser from the start by the sound of it.
So you saw them? You saw them on that tour, Van Halen 3?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I saw them on September the 11th at the North Shore Event Centre, and they sang 19 songs, and it was a great time.
Ah, that's awesome, man. Yeah, I miss them. I didn't get to see them on that tour because I was literally touring myself that year. That's when I was working with Desmond Child and recording and doing, you know, being a rock star basically. You know, so I had to miss that tour. I couldn't see them that tour. But I caught up on all the VHS tapes when all that stuff became available as bootlegs. You know, I saw a bunch of that, and then of course, you know, later with YouTube. You know,
I'm glad you brought up Desmond Child because you've mentioned him quite a few times in previous shows, Johnny. So how did that work? How did that happen? You know, because you know you were writing songs with him, and you guys were going through this creative process. Is that something that you look back on with fondness and something that's helped you today as a musician?
Yeah. Well, he's my stepdad.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Not everybody knows that. Yeah, Desmond Child is my stepfather. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and yeah, he's a huge hit, you know, songwriter. I mean, he goes back to the 70s, you know, with his own stuff. Desmond Child and Rouge, you know, all this like disco type stuff. You know, he's performed on Saturday Night Live himself back in the 70s. Yep. Gilda Radner introduced him on Saturday Night Live, you know. And then you know, Kiss, you know, I Was Made for Loving You, you know, the big Kiss stuff. Oh, is time up? Oh.
Yeah, no, it's time for me to wake up.
And then all the big, you know, Bon Jovi, Slippery When Wet, that's all Desmond Child, all that stuff. And then when I was living in his house, I'd wake up every morning. Every day was a circus. Every day, you never knew what was going to happen. I'd answer the door, you know, and it'd be so and so is here, you know, and it's just, you know, back in those days, you know, this is 1998, so I didn't have a cell phone. I didn't even have a camera, so I really don't have much to document a lot of that time. I do have some pictures I did take, which have to be somewhere, of his home studio being built, or one of them. He had two houses, you know. I lived in one of them, and but you know, I can tell you that, you know, I answered the door, you know, and let Ricky Martin in the house, and then next thing you know, they wrote "Livin' La Vida Loca." You know, I can tell you that because it's true. and that became a huge song. Living La Vida Loca. I was there when they were working on that one, and there was another song called "The Cup of Life" that was used for Pepsi that Ricky Martin did, mainly in I would think in that community, pretty big, very big, very big.
Yeah. There are a lot of songs that I know on this. I'm just looking at a list of his hits. Blimey, it's a big list, isn't it?
It's never ending. It doesn't end.
Amazing. The amount of artists as well. Ronnie Spector, Cher, Michael Bolton, Alice Cooper. As you say, John Wayne, Kiss, Bon Jovi, Aerosmith. And so kind of across the spectrum, isn't it? It's not Ricky Martin. It's not Kelly Clarkson.
Katy Perry, Bach, one of my favorites. I'll admit that I'm a Katy cat. I love Katy Perry.
Waking up in Vegas.
Yep, Waking Up in Vegas. Katy Perry. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, Cup of Life. Yeah, Deja Voodoo. Yeah. Yeah, that was used for Pepsi. Choice of a New Generation or whatever that was. The Spice Girls had it right before then. The Spice Girls were the thing for Pepsi, and then Ricky Martin was the
after the Spice Girls,
the thing for Pepsi. Yeah. So you guys, I know a lot of stuff. I the thing is, I have to sit here and play dumb on most of my shows, because people just talk over me. But I know a lot of different things. Sheila, good to see you.
The Yostinator. Wow. That's amazing.
Oh yeah, Yostinator. Sort of. The last time I saw Desmond was we had dinner in San Francisco. I want to say 7 years ago. He has a document. There was a documentary made about him and his family. His kids. Him and his partner. They basically had two sons, and there was a whole documentary made on that. And I went to 2 of those screenings. One in Oakland, one in San Francisco. Desmond and the kids were at one of them, and we went out to dinner afterwards and had dinner and hung out and talked and yeah. And then I've actually, this is funny. I've actually had because he's a pretty big name, So I actually had a fake Desmond Child profile contact me. Actually, one time. This on Facebook Messenger pops up. Desmond Child, hey, send me your demos, blah blah blah, and I'm like, hey, it's me, Johnny, and then I'm like, oh, this is weird. And then when I saw Desmond at dinner that one night, I'm like, hey, yeah, some Desmond Child profile was like trolling me, and he's like, yeah, that wasn't me. That was a a fake.
Bad luck.
It happens. We all. I mean, that's the thing. If you have any kind of success, you have, there's trolls out there that try to imitate you. I've had it happen to me. I've had fake Johnny Beans, out there, which seems very weird, but and you'll have a fake Fender Guru and a fake Simon eventually.
Oh, God, isn't one enough? I hear a lot of people over here going, "Isn't one enough? Do any more?" William, God.
How did Desmond write? Did he write lyrics first, or was it chords and melodies, Johnny? What is that something that you've picked up? Is there a preference that you have, that you learnt, that you observed with Desmond? Because what a songwriter.
He, from what I remember, he would do lyrics and melodies first, and then he played piano. So everything that he writes is on the piano. He doesn't play guitar.
Okay.
So I remember watching him and hearing him play You Give Love a Bad Name by Bon Jovi on the piano many times, like a lot of times, and
but always on the piano, always,
yeah, always on the piano, always on the piano.
Yeah. I think that's most of those guys. That's what they do, don't they? They play the piano, record this.
Most top musicians, play the piano and write on the piano. That's the number one instrument to write on is piano. Yeah. Definitely.
Did he write his own lyrics, Johnny? Did he do lyrics as well, or was that much more in conjunction with the artist?
Yeah. Oh, I think it was him, and then whoever he's collaborating with. He would work with, like, let's say the band that I was in he was our manager, and when the band would songwrite between the singer and him, they would work on lyrics, on melodies, and all that stuff.
Yeah,
that stuff, and
arrangements as well, or would they get somebody else to do the arranging?
No, he'd arrange.
Mm-hmm.
He can do. He
have a
does
vision of it all in his head.
He does everything. He does everything. All of it. All of it.
Yeah. So would he write out charts and stuff for the players and things? Was it charts and things, or
no? Well,
no. Well, when I tell people what to do.
Well, when I was there, no, there was no charge. I mean, there was no. Well, let me say, for most of the bands that I've been in, aside from the stuff where I've been the main writer or the main music writer, when hey, Tessie's a witch. where is that? There we go. I can imagine him pitching "Living on a Prayer" with piano, saying, "Okay, John, just imagine this with heavy guitar."
Yes.
Yeah.
How'd you do that on the piano? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. He would write with and when I was there, he was writing with John as well. When I was there, I never met John.
Bon
Jovi. Bon Jovi. I never met him. I met his brother and I met his mom. So I met, I guess, most of the family. But I remember at one time we were in the studio and we're like, "Hey, we got to talk to Desmond." And I think our drummer called him up and he's talking to him on the phone and he's like, "Oh, I hear singing in the background." "Oh, that's John singing," like so we heard, we were around, a lot of that. But I don't even know what I was even saying before that. Something. Oh. When I any band, any
Jimmy over there.
Yeah.
It's quite loud.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it is actually. Yeah, you can hear it really. If you played a song, we'd all be banned. It's really clear.
These EVH guitars are pretty good, man.
Plenty of a sustain and
they're awesome.
microphone, and you're in.
That basswood body, man. Holy shit!
Wow. They're amazing. They're amazing. Eustanezer, is that your name? Aerosmith? No, I never met Aerosmith. I never saw any of those guys. Although, here's a story. Okay. I remember Desmond, he had a friend who's another huge songwriter by the name of Diane Warren.
Yep.
And she did a lot of stuff as well. And they would talk on the phone, like late at night, like in the studio. I'd be in the studio hanging out, and Desmond would be on the couch, like talking to Diane, And I remember something about Desmond being offered a song, and Diane ended up doing the song, and it ended up being the song called "I Don't Want to Miss a Thing" for this film, for this movie. What was John Biel? What was the movie?
On a Rock.
What was? I don't want to miss a thing. It was like Bruce Willis was in it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It had to do Armageddon. There we go. Yeah, it was for Armageddon. And I think Desmond was going to do the song, but Diane ended up doing it instead, and Aerosmith recorded it. So I remember that. Yeah,
Wow.
Liv Tyler was in it. That's right. And Titanic was actually the big movie at the time. And I hate to say it, but I've never seen Titanic, so don't tell me the ending, please.
Me neither, Johnny. I've never seen Titanic.
Well,
Apparently, it's an iceberg. But that's only a rumor, okay? Apologies to anyone in the chat who's it was the iceberg what's done it in the library with a lead piping.
Renus, let me tell you, man. Yeah, see, I don't talk like this on my own shows because one thing, there's other people, they just talk over me all the time, you know. But no, tonight it's like Fender Guru and Simon. They're you know, asking me, you know, the questions, and so it's, you know, it's a little easier to say this stuff.
Okay,
know?
Johnny. So it's your 50th birthday in about 25 years' time from now.
26.
Okay, 26. All right. Okay. Who's playing? Who's going to play at your 50th birthday? Is it EVH or Andy Summers?
Oh man!
Whoa,
You have to pick one.
That is a harsh question. That is, isn't it? Johnny's two heroes,
My two favorite dudes.
two favorite dudes, guitar players ever, and now you've backed him into a corner, and he's got to choose.
Okay, well, I'm going to
choosing between your
say
children.
I've seen Andy play many times over the years, so I'm going to have to say Eddie. I'm going to have to, well, EVH. You know, like the guy in Fast Times. You know, Van Halen is playing my party.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, Johnny, how many times have you actually seen Van Halen? Just a handful.
I saw them in 1988, 91. I saw them twice. 92. No, well, 91. Did I see them twice? Let me say, I saw 88, 91, 92. 93, I saw them twice. 95, I saw them maybe 3 times.
Right.
Didn't see them in 98. 2004, saw them twice, I think. I don't even know if I'm even naming all the different tours. 2015, I saw them twice. 2007, I saw them probably twice.
Renus wants CC DeVille at his. Sorry for interrupting, but that I had to. That's a good comment. Sorry.
That's cool. That's cool.
Get back to thinking now.
That's cool.
Hey, Alvin. How you doing? Yeah. Sorry, Johnny. But so you've seen them like maybe 15 times.
Wow.
Van Halen. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Favorite gig?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can't beat the first one. You know, when I first saw them in '88,
was that with David Lee Ross? Johnny?
No, Hagar.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It was after them. They did the summer Monsters of Rock festivals, and then I saw them during the winter tour. They did a separate tour after that, and I saw them. And I mean, I kind of remember certain little things about it, but it was so long ago, and I was, 4 years old. So it's kind of hard to remember.
On the shoulders.
Yeah. I was in the baby seat, But I've always said one of my favorite, Van Halen tours is the 93 tour, the Right Here, Right Now outdoor tours. Something about those shows was very cool. Jay Hannon, I think, can back me up on this. I don't think he was there. Maybe you were. Yeah, I think he was. I can't remember.
He's only about 12, isn't he?
Well, if I was 7, yeah, I think he was 12. Yeah.
These youngsters. Cool. Yeah. But so you went to pretty much every tour that when you could.
Since 88, yeah. And the one I missed was 98 because I was on tour myself that's when I was working with Desmond.
Yeah.
And I couldn't make those shows. I wish I could have, but I was around when they used Desmond's studio. Well, I don't say they. Sammy Hagar was making a record called Red Voodoo. And he had a couple songs mixed by Desmond's mixing crew. So I walk into the studio one day and I hear this music. There was no vocals. There was no singing yet. But I hear this rocking music and these guys, they know I'm a huge Van Halen guy. They're like, hey, this is Sammy's next song. And so I'm hearing it, I'm like, no way, And then later on, it becomes a couple songs off this record called Red Voodoo by Sammy Hagar.
Oh, okay.
Pretty cool. Yeah. But no, I never got to see him with Gary. But like I said, later on when VHS, bootlegs were circulating, that's when I got a hold of some of those and got to see those shows.
Yeah.
And the MTV at Live at the 10 Spot show, which was the big one. Mm-hmm. That's the equivalent of Sammy Hagar's Live Without a Net is the Live Out 10 Spot MTV Sharon show. It's kind of the same kind of thing.
Yeah. Do you remember how much the ticket was from 88? I'm fascinated by ticket prices.
I still have it.
Do you know how much it was?
I can't tell you where it is. I want to say it maybe said something like $750 or
$750.
Something.
1988, $750.
Yeah.
The reason I say is because I'm old, much older than everybody here. So I started going to gigs in 72. And in 1972...
1872?
Yeah, 1872, yeah. On horseback. We used to ride to the gigs on horseback.
Tickets are made out of stone.
Yeah. Highwayman. No, bronze, Johnny, bronze. We're in the Bronze Age, Turn up with your bronze ticket, forged by your local blacksmith. How they knew only to make so many, I've no idea. But in the days of pre everything, but you could go and see like the Eagles or Jethro Tull or something. £1.50, so like $2, maybe like a $2 ticket. So we could go.
Wow.
Yeah, we used to go like
a
couple of times a month, and there was a big kind of in the UK. Every city has got like a municipal hall, run by the local council, couple of 1,000-seater, and basically bands used to do a tour of all those municipal halls. So you get 1 week you go and see Rory Gallagher, the next week you go and see Roxy Music. The next week you go and see, I don't know, Fairport Convention. The next week you just go and see bands, kind of whatever. So in that, I could earn, £6 or £7 from a paper round or something, and that would give me, 2 or 3 gigs a week I could go to, or a gig and an album. Album was about £2.50. So yeah, it was amazing to do that, and of course because. And we know this was pre-stadium tours. I mean, really, nobody did stadium tours in 72. So I didn't ever see them. But, I mean, Pink Floyd came and played Dark Side of the Moon in 71. They toured Dark Side of the Moon for like a year before they recorded it. All the bits. In the days when, when you could, without getting too bootlegged. And that's how it worked. But, it was great. So you just, whoever was turning up that week, you go and see them at Colston Hall. Fantastic.
Oh man!
So I think that I don't know. I think that, so. Yeah, and like £1, £1.50. I went to see Led Zeppelin at Earl's Court in 1975. Was £2.50, £2 or £1.50.
Wow!
To see one of the biggest bands in the world play one of the biggest indoor venues in the UK. It's probably 18,000 people, that sort of thing. But yeah, £2.50. And what you're saying is the same. In 1988, it was still only $7 to go and see Van Halen.
Well, maybe it was a little more. Maybe it was under $20.
Yeah.
Well, was it? I don't know. I have the ticket. I had the ticket with me when I met Eddie, and I meant for him to sign it. But when I met him, he was just a regular dude, so I would have felt stupid asking him to sign something, you know.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
just a regular dude, like talking to me and then joking around and stuff.
How long did you spend with him?
Technically, I was in the same room with him for like 6 hours. I was at a party that he was at, and
Really?
yeah, and I had a mutual friend introduce me to him, and just hung out with him for a little bit, just BS'd, you know, and that's when I realized, oh, he's just a regular dude, you know, he's cool. He's just a cool guy, you know? And then I walked out of there like, oh man, like, no big deal. And then a week later, I'm sitting at a stoplight, and that's when it hit me.
Wow.
Imagine, you're sitting at a stoplight and you're like, wait a minute. All of a sudden, I just met the dude that I grew up. The reason I play the guitar is because of my Guitar Hero, whatever it is, it was pretty weird, pretty strange, but no, he's a regular dude, very cool,
Did he play anything? Was he playing at all? Acoustic guitars or anything? No, it was just just drinks and chat.
Just hanging out. Yeah.
Wow. I did not know that. I didn't know that you had hung out with him for that long. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was just a little bit. It was a little bit, but I met his wife, and we're still friends. I'm friends with his wife, to this day, and yeah, they're just great. Just normal people.
So just to say, the Monsters of Rock tour, Van Halen's Monsters of Rock, LA Coliseum in 23rd of July 1988 was $25. $25. Is that the one you went to, Johnny? I don't know that.
No, I didn't. I went to the tour after that. I went to the tour after that. Oh, okay. So wait a minute. Music Therapy.
Good morning, Music Therapy, Laz. How you doing?
Music Therapy, Laz. I think I was at that same thing, dude.
Steve Stevens.
I met Steve Stevens in San Francisco.
Oh wow!
For a Washburn clinic. Music Therapy, was that where you were at? He had like a Frankenstein graphic Washburn guitar. I still have the poster. I think Music Therapy. I think we were at that same thing, man.
Well,
maybe
each other out the way.
Yeah, out of my way.
I got a guitar question for you, Johnny. So you've got a Ernie Ball Music Man that you've had since 93?
92.
92. Okay. And you've played Axis guitars, haven't you? Like this.
Yes.
Just okay. So can you just qualify for me while we're live, please? Is your Music Man neck thinner than the Axis?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, they're probably similar at the very, very, very top, and then as you go, throughout the entire neck, I want to say the Axis gets wider, gets thicker than the Eddie one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Just, I mean, the guitars look the same. They look almost identical. But I want to say the Eddie neck is it's just smaller. There's just a smaller thing to it. And I'm sorry, Phil Hendry just sent me a message back. Let me.
No problem. Were you ever tempted to sell that guitar?
No. I mean, really, right now it's so beat up. Nobody wants to even touch the guitar, because it was that was my main guitar when I was working with Desmond. I remember him saying, "Oh, that's a nice looking guitar." Like he saw it.
Wow.
He saw me playing it. I had to verify myself and change a bunch of stuff. Let me know.
Hey Joe. Hey Pooh.
Good morning, Joe Wentz. How you doing? Hope you're good. Who?
Joe Wentz. Joe Wentz.
Yeah,
hey,
Joe
man.
Wentz. Joe Wentz.
Joe Wentz. Joe Wentz, man. I've been seeing you around here for a long time, man.
Yeah. Still
he does
doing
a cool
his thing.
show. He does a cool show with Dave Stafford and R2D2. If you guys haven't checked that show out,
R2D2.
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 R2D2 and 3PO.
They've got Great Vanzini on, haven't they? This week?
Yeah, they've got Great Vanzini, who's a friend of our channel.
Yeah.
And while we're talking about channels, Johnny, can I just do an unshamed plug for our channel? If you can give me 2 seconds.
Let me just. I got to reply back to Phil real quick.
You do that while I ask.
while we barge you out of the way and do an advert.
Yeah.
Hey man, I would love to moderate your channel and everything. And yes, I think
please sub to our channel, guys. Don't listen to Johnny. Listen to me and Simon.
I'll turn my mic off. Hang on.
Don't listen to his personal messages. Damn it. Hey, seriously, we'd like you guys, if you take a bit of time to jump over and subscribe to Simon and my channel, please. We'd be grateful for any support we could get. Thank you. And thank you for the cats that are in the chat that follow Simon and I regularly. You know who you guys are. Thank you very much, and we appreciate everything that you guys do for us on our channel.
Yeah. Yes, thank you, guys. It's really cool. Joe Wentz, drive carefully, man. Stay safe. I know Mr. Wentz will be out milk delivering, probably on his way back now.
Yeah.
It's night delivery.
Stay safe, Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah, you rock, Joe. Joe, you got to come back on here, man. It's been a long time, man.
Keeping the country rolling.
Joe Wentz and I, we go back a lot of years on here, man.
Yeah.
He's been doing it a long time as well, hasn't he, Joe? God. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Quentin, morning, Quentin. Warren H, how you doing? Thank you, Warren H. That's very kind. And Music Therapy Laz sub to me this week. This is very kind of him. Left me a nice message. So thank you, Music Therapy Laz. That's very cool of you.
Is that the bass player from Slayer?
Who? What, you or me?
I think you.
I don't know the bass player from Slayer.
You, me. Simon.
I don't think so, somehow.
He's gone. It's our channel. We've taken over.
Take over. This is what I call a take. This is what I call a raid.
Yeah, it's your channel. There you go. I'll be right back.
Hey, let's talk about Johnny behind his back. You know,
let's talk about Eric Clapton. Let's talk about Eric
can't play guitar. Johnny can't sing. Hey, no.
I never heard him sing. No. Yeah, quick. Let's talk about something else. Just do you want a news flash? Donald Trump and his wife have tested positive for coronavirus.
Really?
Yeah, just on the came up on my news feed just now.
Oh wow!
Music stabilizes. That's very kind. If you would, yeah. Well, yeah, and Great Vanzini. There he is, the Great Vanzini. We were just talking about you, and you appear. He did.
Yeah, he was in the chat earlier.
Yeah, I'd missed him, so apologies, Great Vanzini. Yeah. I shall be looking out for your guest appearance tomorrow night on with Dave Stafford and Joe Wentz. That'll be really cool.
Yeah, that comes on at a good time for me, late in the afternoon. It's really good. Some of the videos that those guys put up, oh my gosh, they're quite hilarious. And R2, R3 always has some good technical advice.
Yeah, legend.
Yeah.
Okay, he's back, but stop talking about him.
Oh no.
Really, Simon? Really, Johnny did that?
No, he did.
Oh,
yes.
God.
It's true.
Unbelievable. Almost unbelievable. I don't know how he got away.
But hey, yeah, you guys, yeah, everybody subscribe to Fender Guru, man. Fender Guru, say hi in the chat. I don't have Nightbot doesn't have you on there, but say hi in the chat and have everybody check out.
I just like to say that we're only here because of Johnny. We are only here. We weren't when we said the other day you're like the godfather of almost everyone we know does YouTube channels of any description. It's because of you, Johnny. Because I saw you first doing it. When I was,
your check's in the mail.
I came across. Your check's definitely in the mail.
When we get 1,000 subscribers, mate, the first check goes to you, Johnny.
Oh, well, it'll be about 13 cents. Let me just say.
Well, hey, it's something, brother.
Riches. Are you saying, Johnny, that my cut of this is not going to feed my children for any length of time? My
Beane is the seed. Did you see that? Beane is the seed.
Seed. Yes.
Seed bean. That's a good one.
Ooh,
a bloody cheeky Aussie.
Data. Fake Simon out.
Yeah, that's not the real Simon, guys.
Yeah, he's an imposter.
Yeah.
How'd you know?
No, I mean, I appreciate. I mean, it's cool. Anybody that says, "Hey, if I like what you do," and if other people start doing it, and any kind of inspiration. I mean, it's great. It's really. I don't know.
Johnny, you're like the Velvet Underground. The Velvet Underground only sold 1,000 copies of their first record, but everyone who bought one of those records got a band of their own.
Mm-hmm.
That's the kind of way I view it. Is that you inspired us all to go out and get microphones and get on the YouTube and make it what it is, and hopefully bring our own stamp to things. But
that's great. I mean, that's awesome. That's I mean, it's cool. It's really cool.
But it's true.
And good night, Tessie Switch or Jay.
Awesome.
Who's ever going to bed? Good night. I love you both.
Good night, Tessie Switch. Tessie Switch. He's fed up with looking at the imposter. He's going to bed. Well done.
Anyway, I've got another question for you, Johnny. What's your dream amp? Eddie's Marshall, that Soldano prototype that he had, the PV5150, or one of the new Fender EVHs. You got to pick one.
Man, somebody's been doing research. Look at this.
That's what we do. Yeah.
I mean,
do you want that list again? You should know it.
you gotta go the original Marshall amplifier. That's how you gotta go.
What is it? A late '60s one? Is it a '60s one? Late '60s?
I think it was the '60s. It was the house amp in in an auditorium. I think. Right. If not the Pasadena Civic. If not that, it was it was a house amp. It was a house amplifier, is what it was. Tessie Switch. Good night, man.
Borrowed amp, wasn't it? That was never given back.
I don't know, but I can say.
Are you accusing Mr. Van Halen of a spot of light-fingered behaviour?
I'm just borrowing things.
Mr. Walter,
yeah,
just long-term loan.
I'm not sure, but I can say use code JohnnyBean15 when ordering from Tessie Switch.
Oh wow!
Yes.
There you go. Now it's a commercial.
That's definitely a commercial. There we are.
Tessie Switch, proud sponsor of Johnny Bean TV.
Yeah, and if you guys that joined the chat late didn't get the show earlier, I asked Johnny if what's his preference, David Lee Roth's butt exposed chaps or EVH's pink parachute pants. Johnny picked David Lee Roth's butt exposed chaps.
Oh, wow!
Honestly.
Man, now these guys are bagging on me.
Could I say, that was the first question you asked me when I turned up. It's like 5:15 in the morning. It's like, not a thing to lay on a man with a morning head, you know? Blimey. It's like
Simon just woke up. Hey, you want to try on these chaps?
Well,
that's a whole different thing.
They're very comfortable on the back. A little cold in the back, you know.
Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. So, well, see, according to this, his original Marshall was a 6768 12 XXX series Marshall Super Lead, 1959. Whatever that means. So I don't know. According to that. So is that what you're choosing, John? You're choosing the original Marshall.
Yeah, of course.
I'll take the
original sound. Is that your favourite sound?
PV.
That original Marshall sound that he had on the first record.
I mean, I like all of it, but I would just say, as far as all that stuff, I mean, who wouldn't take I mean, that's the original, the one, the amp,
the amp, the beginning, yes.
Yeah, the beginning.
Does he still have that?
I'm sure he does.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Amazing. Yostinator's got a question for you, Andrew. What is your favourite current production Stratocaster?
Clapton Signature.
Wow, look at that! Boom, straight off.
Yep. And versatile guitar. I know it's probably a little bit more expensive than some of the other models, but having had a couple over the years, it's a versatile guitar. You can play some good Strat clean tones on there. I know that Dave Nesdell in the past has been critical about those active pickups that they have, that he prefers the standard cycle that you get with the Stratocaster. But the good thing with the Clapton one is that you can play relatively classic Strat tones, but when you want to crank it up, you put that mid boost on. Man, it's a overdrive. It's a killer. Great amp. Sorry, great guitar.
It's just great.
Oh yeah, mate, I love them. The smooth V neck. That's a key thing too. I think that as guitar players, we become probably we have preferences with the guitar necks. And I like that V neck, just like I like the neck on this guitar here, the asymmetrical neck on the axis. And if I ever get a chance, to buy a EVH Music Man locally secondhand, I'll jump at it, but I won't be paying any of those prices overseas. They're $5, $6, $7 Johnny, for those guitars overseas. That's a lot of money.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a lot of guitar, I mean,
yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm burping. Hang on. Wait, this is your show. I could just burp on here. It's fun. Music therapy, Laz. Have a good night, man.
Yeah. Cheers, Laz. He's another Aussie, I think. I'm sure he's an Australian.
Well, no, he lives 20 minutes from me.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Laz.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying.
I know.
Just leave a thumbs up. Everybody that's watching, leave a thumbs up. Leave a subscription. Subscribe to Fender Guru.
Thank you.
If Fender Guru says hi in the chat, that'll be his. Actually, YouTube, they don't do that anymore. They don't have links to channels anymore. Like you can't click on a name and go to a channel.
No, you used to be able to, which is a
Yeah.
bummer.
Yeah,
Does it
yeah.
not
You used
work
to be able
anymore?
to. You can't do that nowadays.
Oh no, you can only ban them or report them or block them. Yeah, that's
Let's see.
useful.
Actually, I'll do that. Actually, here I'll. Let's see. How do you spell YouTube? Y-O-U. Here we are. Here
Don't do
we
that.
are. Okay, and then okay, I've got us here. Let me.
Cool.
Fender Guru. Actually, let me go to your channel.
Thank you. And it's been cool hanging out with you, Johnny. Appreciate you giving us a bit of time. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Oh, are we done?
No.
Oh.
I'm good.
No, well,
I'm good. I've got another.
Oh,
I've got another 2 hours before my kids have to go to
He's
school.
like, I've got another 7 hours.
oh, okay. I'm reading the signals wrong. Sorry.
Oh,
Well,
no. It's only 10:30 here.
So, do you see
Although-
Great Banzini's question, Andrew? Come on, Great Banzini's question. Current favorite amp.
Current favorite amp, my Marshall Blues Breaker is my current favorite amp.
Is that your
Very
fave?
versatile. Yeah, very, very versatile. But my favorite Fender amp that I've ever played and have is a 68 custom Vibrolux. Fantastic amp.
Oh. A reissue or not a proper 68 from 68?
No, it's a reissue. But Simon, I'm probably going to buy that new Lunchbox EVH amp that's going to come out towards the end of the year. I'll probably buy that and play that through my aux box when I get that back from repairs.
Oh, you're having it repaired, are you? What's wrong with it?
The monitors, the line out from the monitors on my aux box wasn't working. The headphones were working, and the attenuation for the amp works, but there was an issue with the line out. Hey, while we're talking about EVH guitars, Johnny, I went and checked out that new Frankie last weekend and played it, and I'd be interested in what people in the chat think. But I wasn't. I didn't walk away with it. I left it there. Yeah. I just.
Meaning you left your wallet at home?
No, I left it. No, I
left his wallet in his pocket.
Yeah. You know, what you guys have to remember here in New Zealand is that, you know, guitars with shipping and everything like that, it's really expensive. So that guitar here is 3,500 New Zealand dollars, which is a lot of money. So, you know.
3,500. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, hey, look on YouTube. Look at the very top of the chat. You'll see a pinned message. Pinned by Johnny Beane. That's a new feature that I have.
Awesome.
Click on that link. That's Fender Guru's channel. Subscribe to that channel. Simon
and I will be grateful for any help. Thank you.
Yeah.
Subscribe. How many subscribers do you have?
210 or something like that. So
let me see. You have 242. Let's see if by the end of tonight, if we can get to 243. Thank you.
And and I might if we get 1,000 subscribers, you know, I might wear some buttless chapless.
Ah, well, I don't. Nobody wants to see that.
Good.
Let's go the other way.
Oh, there's got to be someone. There's got to be someone that wants to see it.
You might be solo if you're doing that. but not in the guitar community. That's a different community altogether, Mr. Walton. So if you want to find, that's a different community thing as well.
Okay.
You start googling men in chaps, you get something entirely different.
Thank you, Nelson. I appreciate that. I did see your subscription. Thank you, Nelson.
There you go. Subscribe to Fender Guru. Link is right there in the chat on the very top. The pinned comment. Subscribe to that channel.
Thank you, Yostinator. Yostinator's just subscribed. Thank you.
Renus as well.
It sounds like Andrew has an OnlyFans where he's going to be wearing chaps for you guys.
He's got a separate channel for that.
Yeah. OnlyFans.
Hey, you'll be surprised what you can get away with on these Facebook groups now if you set them on private. You'll be surprised.
Oh my god. Okay.
Thank you, Robot Master Switch. That's very kind of you. Kevin Kuchel. Thank you, Kevin. That's really cool.
Awesome, guys.
Look at this. We got you 3 subscribers already.
Look at that. Probably nothing more than that, Johnny, to be honest.
Get the clapping machine out, Johnny. Get that clapping machine, that red little box you got there.
You can do it manual.
And now everybody, Andrew in chaps. Oh. At least wait till we're done. At least wait till we're off the air. You know? then it's fine. But
no, it's not a custom shop, Warren. It's just the standard, what they call the artist series, I think. The custom shop ones, they're thousands and thousands of dollars. It's expensive as it is just getting the artist series, but I think the custom shop ones are phenomenal.
You guys get a rough deal down in the Australasia region, don't you? In terms of, because everything has to be imported, import taxes and all of that makes everything really expensive for you guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, and our dealers gouge us too, Simon. We just don't have the competition that
really
that the European market and the North American market has. Down here we've only got basically one chain, and they can charge what they want.
Yeah.
Steve Carmichael.
Are you laughing at Steve Carmichael? Me too. Steve Carmichael says, "Is his beard any indication of what to expect?"
Come on, Steve.
Yes, absolutely.
Hey, don't call me the silver fox for nothing, man.
In fact, they don't call you the silver fox at all.
At all.
At all.
Oh, no. I've been called the silver rat.
Steve, if his beard is an indication of, we might talk about something like the band, as in the band, then that's probably a good indication about what we talk about.
Well, look, you guys, I'm a banjo player and I'm a mandolin player, so
Oh no!
In his spare time, he's a bit of a bluegrass boy.
Yeah, Billy Strings. If you guys haven't checked out Billy Strings, awesome.
Yeah. Johnny, look at this. Oh, he's gone away. Look, he's run off.
He's going to get his guitar.
He's getting his guitar.
Guitar
in honor of. Do you know what this is, Johnny? Do you know what that is? Hold on, where is it? Do you know what that is?
A cup?
Have you seen one of those? Yes. Thank you. Yes. Have you seen one of those before? Ever?
Is that a synth?
Yeah, it is. It's an late 60s, early 70s British synthesizer.
Ah, cool.
See, no keyboard, just a pin board that you pass the sound through. Yeah.
You just put the different cables in. It just makes noises, right?
Yeah.
You just tune.
Yeah.
You tune the frequencies, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's got filters and envelope shapers and stuff like that. Yeah.
See, you guys, I know things. I know things. I do know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Well, Brian Eno used one in the first Roxy Music album. He used that. But
that's cool, man.
But the reason I have it is because in the 80s, my dad owned EMS, the company that made it, for a bit.
Oh.
Because he's got one. My dad, he's not alive anymore, but he used to use them to compose music with.
Dude,
Johnny.
that's amazing.
Yeah, he used to. My dad did. He did the first big David Attenborough series called Life on Earth. Yes, which was late 70s, 78. I want to say 79. My dad did all the music for that, and all of that music is done with going and recording conventional instruments and then putting them through the VCS3 and tape loops and all of that kind of gear. Yeah, so he had a studio with with mad stuff. There's bits of Heath Robinson kind of tape loops with bits of a tape run so you could stretch it out and kind of wind it.
That's when it was cool. That's when it was
yeah.
very cool, and those sounds, you know, that's when that stuff was being invented. That's when all those sounds were first being created.
Well, my dad bought one of those in the early
amazing.
70s. In fact, he had more than one. He had about
That's
3 or 4 of
amazing,
them.
man.
Yeah. It's
wow.
I thought he'd be interested in that because it's an amazing thing. Well, we've still got one. I mean, we've still got one. They're worth an absolute bomb. I discovered the other day. There's one on Reverb for £28,000.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know how that works, but anyway. But yeah. It's an amazing thing. What you can put through it as well. You could put, you could take, say, some violin or a flute or something, and put it through that and envelope shape it and kind of and,
anything.
Yeah.
That was the cool thing about those old synthesizers is you could throw any kind of audio in there and create and craft, stuff that, at the time was revolutionary, just brand new sound.
Yes, it's an amazing thing. So, yes, and specifically without keyboards as well. Specifically, not with the keyboard, so you can
without the keys.
All those. It's on Dark Side of the Moon, famously, isn't it? All that little stuff is a VCS3 on Dark Side of the Moon. Of them doing it, but yeah.
That's
it's
cool.
An amazing thing.
That's very cool, man.
Look at that. See? Well, I know because you get into this stuff. You do, don't you? You're quite an experimental artist on the quiet.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh no! I'm totally. I'm like, out of anybody that's on any of these shows that I do, I'm like the only one that's like really into like everything. You got the guys. You got Tuesday nights. You got Mancuda who loves the '80s guitars. You have Levy Mancuda. You have Jay Hannon who loves the metal. His metal stuff. We did the metal show yesterday.
I watched that. Very good. Yeah.
You have all these different dudes. Myself, I'll admit I love everything. Like I said earlier, I'm a huge Katy Perry fan.
Yeah.
I love Katy Perry. I love Katy Perry. Her new album is amazing. Smile, it's called. Go get it. I listen to that when I go to sleep at night. I listen to Katy Perry. I'll admit it.
Well, no, it's I mean, good music is good music, isn't it? And whatever you,
anything that inspires, anything that inspires,
good,
anything that sounds good to you. If it inspires you, if it makes you happy, if it makes you want to do whatever it is, if it motivates you, it's all good.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
So who else modern do you like, Johnny, besides Katy Perry?
Well, that's about it. No.
It's one more than me.
Modern.
I've got teenage daughters, you see. So teenage daughters is interesting. So they get in the car and then they just put on the latest, latest pop radio, and I drive along horrified.
You drive around just clenching your teeth, like, oh, this is horrible,
biting my wallet.
Yeah,
for the most part. But every now and then, they'll put on something, and you go, "That's interesting." Yeah, I remember my middle daughter Saskia was 16. How old is she? I don't know. I can't remember. Anyway, 16. About a year and a half ago, we were driving around. She put on Billie Eilish, right?
Yeah.
And it just and you go, "That's interesting." That song that goes, "I kind of wish you were gay." Immediately, because you go, "That's interesting. That's an interesting concept." Different thing in a song, and you go, "Oh, that's interesting. What's that?" So you're right. Mm-hmm. Occasionally, things poke out, don't they? It's kind of like, and you go, "What's that?" And kind of So it's still about if you can find it.
Yeah.
There's Ned. Oh,
yeah. Oh no, Ned's not even here. He's outside.
He's prowling.
Yeah, he's getting my dinner. Actually,
stray cat strut. What, another rat, sir.
Yeah, but no. Anything that's, music. music is music, no matter what it is, and that's something I've always said. I can argue with whoever's on here at whatever time, about whatever they consider, the music, what they like. But the truth is, music is music, no matter what it is. If it inspires, that's great, and if it inspires you to create, for me. It's all about creating. That's the bottom line. If I hear a Billie Eilish song, if I hear whatever it is, if I hear something, if it inspires me to pick up an instrument, to pick up a sound machine, to make a sound, whatever it is.
I agree with you, Johnny.
If it's inspiring, then it's great, because you can't. I mean, the thing is, you let's say, what's like Andrew, pick a song, say a song, any song.
Jumpin' Jack Flash.
Jumpin' Jack Flash. Okay. I mean, you can't. Who knows what inspired that song? But whoever came up with the seed for writing that song, where did they get that inspiration? It could have been anywhere. It could have been from any other song, any sound. Nelson Rodriguez says "Till Tuesday," Voices Carry. I love that song, man. I mean, they're amazing. "Till Tuesday" was great. That's one of their greatest songs. Amy Mann is incredible. But
I think that's one of the responsibilities, though, Johnny, that we have as music fans and musicians and followers of music on social media. It's a big thing that Simon and I talk about sometimes on some of our shows, about keeping it positive, and it's one of those contradictions I think that we have as musicians and music fans. It's that creative aspect that we have to ourselves, which deserves respect. When you're meeting someone else who likes something or has a different opinion that might contradict yours, it's being able to be polite and be nice and not say, oh, that band sucks. It's one of the interesting things that I have about being a Van Halen fan. I joined a big Van Halen group a couple of years ago and posted some CD covers that I had in a van of mine, and they were OU 812 and 5150, and I posted these saying, man, I've been listening to these all week. I wasn't prepared for the crap and the shit that I got in the chat and in the comments. It was
that my group?
No, it was no. But
the people in my group are insane. And
your group's a different conversation altogether. Your group needs psychiatric help, I think.
I'm too scared to post anything in there, Johnny. I would never incinerate.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to figure out how to go live in there and to do a type of show in there, and I'm not scared.
Gosh.
We just passed 22,000 people. I'm not scared of those people, because I know as far as Van Halen, I'm smarter than every one of those people. I'll admit it. I know way better than all those people. The ones that are weird anyway. And
I can't though, and I want to ask you and Simon and all the cats in the chat, if you love Van Halen, and I can understand that you have a preference, I can understand that there is a preference, but why would you bag somebody who said that they liked the Balance album? I can't work that out. Sorry, I love them all.
Well, that's the thing, is not everybody loves them all. I'll say it, there's a lot of David Lee Roth fans where they're stuck in, 1984, they're all,
you're missing out on so much.
They're, in their 60s. Yeah, their 50s. The ones that go back from, the ones that go back to the, the very beginning, they're in their, well, they're at least, 20 years older than me. So they're at least in their 50s and 60s. For them, but that's what I don't get, is David Lee Roth is their king. Sammy Hagar sucks. Sammy Hagar is gay to them, but Dave Lee Roth and Chaps is fine. Yeah. Okay, that's what makes no sense. It makes no sense. No sense at all. To that, is there? You know what I mean? And Sammy never wore chaps.
But that G-string photo where he's leaning into a mirror, that's pretty hot. A mirror,
too,
yeah. Man.
David Lee Roth can wear that, and there's no problem with it. But Sammy singing is gay. It makes no sense. It makes no sense, to those guys. And we're gonna see a lot of that once we start going live in that group. And if you guys want to join me, I've got a bunch of people that want to do that. And we'll do it. I'm not scared of any of those people. They can. I've had my share of trolls over the years. It happens.
Well, that's my next question that I want to ask you, because I've asked people before that's been on our show that have had some kind of social media following. How do you react when you jump on some social media platform in the morning, you're having your coffee, you're jumping on there, and you're just getting vilified by somebody because you've posted a guitar lesson or an opinion or a review on a guitar, and someone's just tearing you to pieces? How do you react to that?
What? Wait, what? So let's say I wake up, I post something, and somebody doesn't like it, and they just say
having a go at you. They're having a go at you. Yeah. How do you react to those comments?
Nah, I deleted some dude today because
you moderate them.
Well, I mean, let me just say again. I kind of said this the other day. I had a really rough night on Tuesday. I had a rough night. We had our show. It was me and Mancuda. I was halfway in the show, halfway not there. Mancuda carried the whole thing. He did a great job. And behind the scenes, I was dealing with a chicken that was very sick back, outside. Yeah. And my wife and I were outside trying to figure out how to take care of let's just say, take care of this chicken, like, put it down. That's what we were having to deal with. And it was tough. It was very tough. And we ended up, the chicken was put down, and it was a great. And that's another thing is, a lot of people, they kind of laugh. It's like, hey, you have chickens. Oh, it's funny, whatever, Unless you actually have, pets. A chicken is a pet.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
It just it kind of sucks that they're also delicious. I mean, I'll admit it. I love fried. There's nothing like fried chicken. I love it.
Chicken paradox.
I had a hard time when we first got the chickens, having to eat chicken once we got them. I'm not eating them, but it's going to the store and having the dinners. I had a hard time at first doing that because you've got these old cute little baby chicks, and they're jumping around, they're adorable, So I had a hard time in the beginning. You separate that, it's separated when you go out for dinner and you order chicken and you come home and you got the chickens, you separate it. It's different, Kurt S50 says we had 2 chickens as pets a few years ago. Yeah. It's tough, when you have a pet that's also known as something that people eat, so it sucks. But and I hear about it. People make fun of me. They say, "Oh, whatever. You have chickens, blah blah blah, whatever." But anyway, I posted on Facebook the other day that we had to put a chicken down, and it was tough, because it was one of our favorites. And somebody in the comments said, "Oh, well, did you cook it?" And immediately I'm like, unfriend, bye. I just I didn't care who it was. I'm like, see you later.
Yeah.
Like you're gone. You're gone. It's like, but I don't know. So it's weird. It's a weird thing. I just hope I never have a cow because I love beef. Okay. So
Here you are, Johnny. Look, to cheer you up, this is my next door neighbour's chickens. Okay, so I look after them quite a lot when they're away. I go, right now. They've got some new shit. They've got chicks, little.
They're
ones,
cool, huh?
Yeah, they're really.
Simon, chickens are fun.
I can make them follow me around the garden. It's really funny. You could turn into the chicken whisperer. You can go, come on.
Yeah, they follow you. They follow you around. Yeah,
really
they're funny. I mean, they're
yeah.
actually they're amazing pets. They really are. They're amazing.
They like being picked up as well. What you find is they like being picked up and stroked. So I'm out there. I'm looking after them for a week whilst my neighbours are away, and they got these. They had 4 new ones. That's a picture of the new ones, and they got these 2 old ones, rescue chickens. Ex-battery ones. So the old ones are in this big cage. They didn't get on with the new ones because they sort of bigger and tougher. So the new ones. So Steve's my next door has built this sort of bit for them. These new ones. Every morning I went out. One of them had escaped. It's like, where are you getting out, you little sods? It's like, so every morning I got one was first morning 1, then 2, then 3, and then there's 3 of them out. And I was like, how are you? I realised what they're doing is at night. What they were doing is because it didn't have a roof on it, they were flying up and perching on top of the other one, and then they were just flying down. It's like it's only the last night, and that's them perching on top of the other cage. Like, will you come down from there? Fortunately, getting eaten by the foxes. But so I get it completely. I like looking after them. They're great, and they follow you around, and you can go, come on,
they're fun.
And they'll follow you into the cage and stuff. When you want to put away at night and stuff's great.
Yeah. Chickens are they're a lot of fun, and it's too bad that, like I said, I hate to say it, it's too bad that they're delicious. I mean, it's too bad that we eat them and they're. It sucks, and I do have a problem with that. Like I do have. There is something with me where it's like we got the chickens outside, but hey, we're having chicken for dinner, but not them. But you go to the store, you get the chicken breast, the wings, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I do. It's.
Yeah. You get attached to them. They get attached because they have personalities and they do stuff, don't they? And they follow you around and they recognize you.
You said it. Not everybody, nobody understands that unless you have them. Chickens have personalities.
Yeah.
They do. They really do. They're all different. They don't act the same. You get a different one. You totally see it. And once they become pets, it makes it tough. But
well, it's another life, isn't it? I always think another life. That if you think that if you take great joy in just taking another life, whether it's an animal or whatever, then I don't think that's I think you pay more attention, frankly. Because they're animals. They have lives. They have and so
animals.
Be respectful of that.
Animals are amazing. Just in general, animals are.
I used to go out with this girl that
I love animals.
She used to study psychology, and part of her assignment was to go to this chicken farm. I think they were first-year psychology students, and they would feed the chickens, and they would do behavioural experiments with them. So what you guys are saying is exactly right. It's true that they do develop individual traits, as you've just said. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a pecking order. Within the chicken, there's
really?
a pecking order. Yeah. Every other day,
hierarchy.
Every week.
Oh wow!
Every week you go out there and a different chicken is in control. You got the rooster, and then I can't believe we're talking about this, but it's true, you guys. It's true. You got the rooster, and then underneath the rooster, every other week there's a different chicken that's in command. Yeah, they're always fighting to be on top. To be like the top, the top chicken.
Yeah.
That's what they do all the time, the time. They eat, they sleep, and they try to become the top, of the flock.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they do. That's how they are.
Yeah.
It's all built into their system.
Yeah. So it's so I don't blame you for feeling like that. Go on, Andrew.
Do you remember when Steve Anderson used to ask you for an egg count?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. And Steve, if you're listening, lately, the past long time, nothing. They don't lay anything anymore. None of them.
Really? Have they gone off? They've gone off the idea, have they?
They stopped.
Really?
They stopped laying the eggs, and so we don't need eggs anymore. No.
Oh, that's a bummer. Yes. How many have you got? And how many chickens have you got?
Now I think we're down to 5.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
We've
Yes.
had we've had several. But man, Andrew, you're going back a couple years with that, man.
Yeah. I remember
Wow.
that. Yeah, I remember Steve Anderson always asking you for the chicken, the egg count for the day. Yeah. It's funny what we remember. You see, Johnny, those things we remember from 2 or 3 years ago. Yeah.
I loved that Late Show. That Late Show was awesome, man. I loved it. It was fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a great time, and that's what's morphed into the Saturday night shows.
Yep.
On Saturday, Saturday Night Live with your host John BL. You know,
I do. I like this idea, Johnny, that you have a channel which it's like a TV channel. So you have a channel that hosts other programs within it. So Tuesday night, John Mancuso. Once a month, Jay and Boney Jows, which is really good. I watched that yesterday. That's really good. And and Saturday night with John BL. Yeah, I'm worried you don't have a show of your own in amongst this stuff.
I know. I need to make one. I think eventually I'll have my own show.
But you like to have somebody else on to bounce off and be with, don't you?
Well, yeah. I mean, here's the truth. I mean, the truth is that I care. I really care. And I like, if there's somebody that I like a John Mancuda, a Jay Hannon, a John BL, a Boner Jams, whatever his real name is,
Brian.
If I like these dudes, they can. They can have their own night. They can do their own thing. Every night's different.
Yeah.
And I'm here. I'm around but like I said, like out of all these dudes, I think that's kind of the difference. So the thing is, everybody has their own thing, but then you have me, sitting here, along with everybody, and I'm the guy that likes everything. Like I like, and I know a little bit about everything, so I can, no matter what it is you bring up, I can most likely say I can add my 2 cents, and yeah, I can talk about whatever that is.
Yeah, I agree.
That's kind of what it is. That's kind of what it's turned into, I guess.
Yeah, but going back to what you were saying earlier about, that actually we all have very rounded musical tastes. We all like a lot of different things. We don't only like one thing, like that. Going to anybody's record collection, go, what they listen to. You listen to Van Halen, Katy Perry, The Police. That's quite a wide. Just those 3. That's quite a wide spectrum to start with.
That sounds like my collection. Wait.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You like Katy Perry and you like The Police and you like Eddie, like Van Halen. So that's 3 different, different types of music. And I'm
totally
sure there
different.
are other,
totally. That's a huge spectrum right
range.
there. That's a huge range if you think about it.
Hmm.
And so anybody that says they like those 3 different things, it's like, hey, this person must actually, they have a range of musical taste, because that's a huge different stuff.
But I think everyone's like that. I think everyone has that kind of musical taste. If you drill into them, that everyone's got that. I like all sorts of stuff. From I like rock, I like English folk music, and I like a bit of reggae, a bit of a bit of 60s soul, all sorts of stuff. Anything I like, and I think that it's not just, nobody's just you can't say, well, he only likes Van Halen. In fact, yes, I did have a friend once who only liked Frank Zappa, but I think that's an exception, frankly. Once upon a, that's all he had. The only records he had were Frank Zappa records. which is quite a strange world to inhabit. But most people, yes, seriously, Uncle Meat and Lumpy Gravy and those kind of weird early 70s Zappa albums. But for the most part, we all got quite broad spectrums of music that we buy, listen to, and enjoy, don't we? And it's not just one thing,
Yeah, I've met a few guys over the years that are quite proud of the fact that they only like one type of music. But to echo what you've just said, though, Simon, I've always found that a little bit weird too, because, I agree with you. I take pride in the fact that I like and probably know a little bit about the music that I follow. And that's only because music was always an important part of my life. And did you see one of the comments in the chat, Johnny, where you've been paralleled to Ron Jeremy? You've been everywhere, so Renus is on fire tonight.
Well, I like to think I'm a little bigger,
Oh, okay, a little bigger. Okay, well, that's high praise from Renus.
A little better looking, and a little bigger, maybe.
Yeah, I'd PDF that comment, man. I'd keep that one. But no, seriously. Yeah, I appreciate the fact though that we have an eclectic and a wide variety of music tastes. Having said that, though, I get blown away when I see Neander Paul, because clearly he's a metalhead. But jeepers, that guy just knows everything about.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, I sit back and he can tell you 5 albums that this Japanese band played and every guitarist and what type of sushi they like and whether or not they have ginger with their wasabi. And I'm going, wow.
Yeah.
He knows a lot of stuff, man.
Well, it's very cool. Yeah, it's very cool. And, how did you meet him?
I met him because I was on with Zim's guitars. What's his name? Zim's?
Dane Zimmerman.
I was on with Dane. I was on with Dane Zimmerman. Is that his name? Dane Zimmerman?
Yeah.
See, I'm on with these people. I didn't even know their names. I was on with him, and then Neander Paul was on as well.
Right.
So if you go to Dane's channel, there's a video of us, all 3 of us, for the first time. And then later on, we're doing the shows, the Tuesday shows. Nesdal bailed, and Mancuda said, "Hey, bring in Dane, and or Dane Zimmerman,
Dane Zimmerman,
Dane, and wait, what am I saying? No, bring in the other Paul, bring in Paul. And and there you go.
Cool. Oh yeah. That's really
Either
cool.
way.
Yeah.
Either way.
He's an amazing guy, Dane, isn't he? That in his guitar shop. I can't quite get on how it actually works. He has a very strange kind of business model, doesn't he? Of kind of like buying secondhand, where Epiphones are much better to buy than Les Pauls and stuff.
Yeah. Well, I think he's in a strip mall. I think he's like in a strip mall area, and so it's easier to sell the Epiphones than the more expensive stuff.
Yeah.
Mr.
Walton is holding up something. You trying to attract our attention?
Yeah, I just got a question here for Johnny. So Johnny, I see that you're friends on social media with Andrew Bennett. Have you reached out to Andrew at all to try and get him on a show to talk all things EVH? Is that something that you might do in the future to talk about this wonderful book? Is that something worth pursuing?
I've never talked to Andrew. I've really no.
Because I see he followed you.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if we're friends. I'm like at 5,000 friends on Facebook, So it's there's a lot of people around all the time. I know about the book, but I've never. I don't have it. I don't know.
It's a cool book. Yeah, I agree with.
I tell you that you've not read it, Johnny.
No, I haven't read it. I know about it. I've heard about it. But if Andrew, if he wants to come on and talk about it, contact me. But I really don't. I really don't. I don't know. What? I mean, that's the truth.
No, it's sorry, feel we've intruded into some uncomfortable place, Johnny. We need to back away quickly.
I don't know. I don't know about it. I mean, I know I don't have it. I don't have it. I don't know Andrew. But I mean, that's what can I say? I mean, that's it.
Oh, well, I can recommend it if anybody wants.
Although I can say Andrew, he directed a Katy Perry video. Going back to Katy Perry, which is very cool. He directed one of her videos in Japan, which I saw. Which is very cool. I'm a huge fan of Andrew's Katy Perry video.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that.
And who's that other band? He's it'll come to me. He's big band in the early 90s that he hung out with. But it's a good book. It gives an insight into Eddie Van Halen. I did a show a couple of nights ago with Steve Anderson, Johnny, and Simon and everyone in the chat, and I asked Steve Anderson, wouldn't it be great if Eddie Van Halen's working on a biography? Wouldn't it be great? We got Sammy Hagar's biography a few years ago. We got Noel Monk's book. We've got the latest Ted Templeton book. Wouldn't it be great if we could get, the definitive biography by Eddie Van Halen?
That would be amazing. Definitely.
Is it in the on the cards at all? Has he reached the point? It's seemingly most rock stars reach a point, don't they, where it's where they can write an autobiography, except for Mick Jagger, who had a large advance and then had to return it because he couldn't remember anything.
Oh my goodness!
Highly amusing. He kept asking Keith Richards, "What happened then?"
And that's why Keith in his book, in his introduction, makes a big thing about him saying that I remember everything. That's a dig at his bandmate because he couldn't remember anything.
He had to return the advance. He had to return the advance because he couldn't remember anything. Write a book.
Oh man! Well, hey, I can't remember anything either, so I'll be right back.
Which I think is really funny. I mean, I think that's because you'd think it's the other way around, wouldn't you? You'd think if you look on the outside, you go, well, of course Mick will remember it, and Keith won't remember last week, but not a bit of it.
Yeah, I'm a fan of biographies, though, Simon. And if it's a ghost writer, so what? You've got someone there at least telling Simon, what I did, and he might be polishing the paragraphs and the chapters and all that. But I think at the end of the day, when we get the biography from the artist, we have to take the artist at their word, and whatever rumors or whatever myths have been said beforehand will finally be put to rest.
Yeah, and I also think that whatever type of autobiography, whether it's a memoir, whether it's a proper autobiography, whatever, it will give you an insight into the mind and the personality of that person, won't it? Almost wherever it is. If it's work of kind of weirdo fiction, if you take something like, I don't know, Bob Dylan's Chronicle, for instance,
Yep.
Volume 1, which is an astonishing book. But one wonders if how much of it is true, in a sense, but actually,
Sure.
because it's Bob Dylan, you get an insight into Bob Dylan, even if not all of it is true. And I don't think that matters to myself necessarily. If it's a, if it's a series of amusing stories and we get amusing stories out of it, then obviously that's kind of thing that drives you a bit. You want, if you don't want to talk about the dark times, does anyone mind really? They went on. Yes, dark times are dark times. And I know that kind of sells books, but yeah, they do. Robot Masters, they like to peek behind the curtain of fame, but it's which bit you see when you peek, isn't it? And which bit, and I'm perfectly happy if people don't necessarily want to talk about painful, terrible periods of their lives because may not want to, in public.
Oh, that's the
I've
good
sorted
thing
that
with,
out, and I've moved on.
Well, that's the good thing with actually reading the books. Like Clapton's biography, for example, he talks very clearly about his dark times, and Keith Richards also too. They're very candid about and their dark times clearly were when they were under the influence of drugs and alcohol. It does things to people. And puts them into difficult situations. But it's been a topic of many shows that you and I have done on our channel together. Eric Clapton has gone out of his way many, many times, and to an extent, Keith Richards. Part of that healing for themselves, I think, too, is that process of saying thanks and sorry to other people. And it's nice to see that they do that because. You've just mentioned Bob Dylan before, Simon, and we've spoken about him a few times. A difficult person.
Oh yeah. Oh God, yes. It's and has given what he's that kind of. I know. I don't know if you saw that Martin Scorsese film recently about the Rolling Thunder tour from the mid 70s.
Many times.
And even then, one of the rules on that tour was that nobody spoke to Bob Dylan unless Bob Dylan spoke to you. So basically, because there's a load of people, there's a lot of musicians, a lot of things, that he only spoke to like one person in that.
That's right.
And then that person relayed the stuff to the music. So the music, half the musicians never spoke to Bob. Bob never spoke to them because if you've got to remember 50 people's names, you've got that actually that's quite hard work. To make small talk with lots of people. If that's not you, then one of the ways of doing it is you just have a rule, don't you? And you say,
isn't that interesting? Where you said that with Bob Dylan that you couldn't talk to him unless he spoke to you. On Eric Clapton's rolling through Europe, his version of that tour, where he's sitting there and he's talking about the Bee Gees half drunk cut, and giving Robert Stigwood crap. The rule was you had to talk to Eric Clapton. If Eric Clapton spoke, if Eric Clapton spoke to you, you had to talk to him. You had to sit down and listen to his drunken rant. Yeah, it was the opposite.
Yes, which is worse. Yes, nobody knows. Yes.
Talking to a drunk Eric Clapton or being snubbed by one of the greatest.
Well, it's kind of not snubbing. It's just I kind of get it. If that and probably the way he got out of it was by having this rule. No one speaks to Bob unless Bob speaks to you, so that he doesn't have to concentrate on what he needs to do if he's running this show.
He
concentrate on what he needs to do, and that's quite. If you've got to run, I'm very interested in this. I have a friend. In fact, the T-shirt I'm wearing is my friend Gerard's band, the Blue Airplanes. And he used to say that he would have periods when he wrote, and then he had periods when he would tour and do the business. And they were two different sides, and he couldn't do the two of them at the same time. So if he was doing the business, building the record companies or whatever, and then that was one side, and that had to be done at a certain point. And then at other points, he had to be at home, and he would get in a position where his headspace was right, and he could write. And they were two different things. And he couldn't mix them up. So he couldn't go on the road and write. you know, because that was a different side of his brain, if you like, the performance, you know, or doing the business side, you know, and they would have to be broken up into into chunks. And I wonder if that's the case for, you know, for lots of musicians where
we sacked him, Great Vanzini.
He's run away. It's
we sacked him. You know, you get a Kiwi and an Englishman into a show, they'll take it over, man. it's a British blues takeover.
Yeah. Here we are talking about British blues. Oh dear.
No. I think you make a good point there. I would hate to be a musician of that kind of stature and caliber, where you've got to make those decisions of being business minded one moment and then artistic the next, you know, and being able to transition from the two types of personalities. I think you have to be, Simon. Maybe we should ask Johnny that question.
Well, I was going to say, let's ask our
message.
Resident artist. Yeah, absolutely, Johnny. Do you recognise that, Johnny? I don't know if you heard what I just described.
What is it?
Well, I was saying that the band I've got here, the Blue Airplanes, they're friends of mine. Gerard's been a friend of mine for a long time. And Gerard says that if he's writing, that's one kind of state of mind. And if he's writing, he can't do the business and kind of the touring. So if he's doing the touring and the business, he can't do the writing. And he has to be in one place in a certain mindset to do writing, and then a different mindset and a different place to do touring and, you know, the business side. So talking to record companies and stuff. Does that can you recognize that in yourself? Is that something you know?
Right. Yeah. You keep it. You keep it separate. You know, you concentrate on one thing, and then you make sure, you know, that's that's good, and then you do the next. The next thing.
The next thing, yeah. But it's very interesting that he compartmentalizing, so he can't really write on the road and stuff. You know, and that has to be a separate exercise when he's kind of at home and things. You know, doing it then. It's a thing. Yeah. We were just talking, saying that we were just saying. I don't know if you heard this. We were saying about Bob Dylan on the Rolling Thunder review tour in '75, that nobody was allowed to speak to him unless he spoke to them. And Andrew was saying that in contrast, this Eric Clapton during his drinking period had the opposite. You had to go and speak to Eric. It was in the rules. It was like a completely listen to Eric after a few bottles of brandy, doing a sort of, you know, doing the rant sort of thing, which is an amusing way of kind of. What I was trying to say is that, you know, people have ways of dealing with all these things, you know, that they have to, that they have to bring into their lives, you know, and that's an interesting thing. You know, that an insight into how somebody runs their business and, you know, they're creative and you know, how they do bands and things. I think it's, you know, those things. And, you know, I'm interested in other creative people, how they manage those things. You know, do they do that sort of thing? Because, you know, we were talking about books and saying, you know, that whatever a book is written by somebody, whether it's memoirs, whether it's, you know, series of funny anecdotes or whatever, they still give you an insight into the person. Just a particular insight.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, everybody's different. You know, everybody's different, and they do things different ways. And I don't know. I mean, sometimes you have to go into a mode, you know, to write. You know, some people have to go into a mode to write, a mode to do this, do that. Myself, I mean, when I pick up a guitar, I have to, you know, 9 times out of 10 have a tape recorder there or whatever, because I'm going to come up with ideas. Every time I pick up a guitar, I'm always coming up with ideas, and I'm always writing, always, whether I like it or not. And that's a good problem to have. That's what do you call it? That's a champagne problem, you know, to have, is every time you pick up a guitar, oh, you know, let's tape that because I can probably use that later, that little lick or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's good. Yeah. That's That's good, and it's fun. It's fun. It's great jamming. Jamming on that stuff, and yeah.
Johnny, do you feel like you're a bit of a? And I've heard this described by other songwriters. So you're a lightning conductor. It flows out of you. You pick up a guitar, things happen. Not kind of conscious. You don't say, "I'm going to do this." It just comes. Is that the way you feel about it?
Yeah. At this point now, I mean, it wasn't always like that, but now if I pick up an instrument, mainly a guitar, or a piano, I love playing the piano. Actually, I love playing the piano more than the guitar. Actually, I love it. I mean, it's such an amazing instrument. Yeah. Pick up an instrument, and all of a sudden you're jamming, and all of a sudden there's all these ideas, and you got to save them, or you work on them, or you do them, or you do it there on the spot. You make a song, whatever it is. I mean, that's how I am. When let me just say, when I pick up a guitar, I don't pick it up to jam. Some what's like a rock tune.
Yeah. Like, anything. Yeah, you're not playing a song that you already know.
It's not.
You're creating something new. Yeah.
It's for me. It's always about it's to create. It's always to create. It's always to do something, to make my own thing. It's always about creating. That's what it always is.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, you hear the songs, maybe I'll play one real quick here.
Yeah.
The songs that I have that I've been using for these intros, like, let's see, where can I find one? I'll just play one real quick here. Here's one. I don't know what this is, but, whatever this is, listen to this. Yeah.
There we go.
So let's say like that, whatever that was, which that's kind of turned into like the theme of like what I've been using lately. That piece of music. Yeah, that's original. That's me. That's all me. All that, and that was something I wrote years ago. That's something I did. 10 years ago, maybe 10, maybe more.
Wow.
That goes back a long time, that piece of music, and it was just something I just wrote. It's just a demo, just something, pretty much what you hear is basically what it is, And I mean, luckily, it's perfect for this type of thing, for intros and outros, for doing a YouTube show, whatever this is. If you can write your own music, because that's what you want to do, is if you want to do your own stuff, because I've said this before, is somebody just left a comment on a video somewhere just now. See, I get this stuff nonstop. I get comments. Somebody just said something, but the more original you can be, the better. Let me just say.
Mm-hmm.
The more trouble, the more problems you'll have in the future, with being original. You just do your own thing, make your own music, whatever it is. And I don't know. Yeah, but as far as me picking up a guitar, it's about making my own music, doing my own thing, writing, whatever it is. I don't pick up a guitar to play a cover tune. That's the last thing I want to do, is pick up a guitar and play freaking
somebody else's stuff. Yeah,
Led Zeppelin. That's the last thing I want to do. I want to pick up a guitar and I want to play, my own. I want to play my own thing.
Something new that comes out. Yeah. So do you have I presume you've got a vault, Johnny? Have you all this stuff that you've accumulated over the years, all these tunes and ideas and stuff?
Yeah.
What do you keep them on?
I keep them on SoundCloud.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
SoundCloud. That's where they are. SoundCloud.
Not anywhere near you. Yeah.
They're all invisible. Yeah. Nobody can see them. They're all private.
No.
You know, that it's all private, you know, locked. You know, I pay for that. That's a part of being a channel member on the channel and getting the donations or whatever. Is that stuff goes towards my payment of pay. I pay $100 a year to use SoundCloud. You know, I pay $20 a year to do StreamYard. I pay $20 a year to do Streamlabs. You know, I pay like not a year, a month. I pay, you know, I pay, you know, $75-$80 a month to do these videos. But not a lot of people know this stuff. You know, you know, I pay to do this stuff, and so any donation, any super chats, whatever that comes in, that all goes towards, you know, paying for all these services that I use to do these shows, you know, to do all the stuff, and but yeah, SoundCloud, that's where I have hundreds and hundreds. That's where the vault is. The vault of all my music. Musical ideas and yeah.
So you record them onto your computer and then upload them into SoundCloud, kind of thing. An idea.
Yes. Yeah.
So you're pretty much always recording. When you're playing, you're pretty much always recording. It's always
always.
Pretty much how you work. Yeah. Well, then you sift through it and see if there's anything good in it or whatever.
Yeah. Actually, I have a lot of sessions on my computer where I have like 3 or 4 different. Well, you know, you look at a waveform, a wave file, and you can see where the song begins and ends. Like you can totally see. You know, the different songs if it's on one track, and I've got a lot of them where it's like a few different things, and you know, I mean, I keep everything. You know, I save everything. I've got freaking cassette tapes, you know, from years and years and years of music, you know, all these type of things. And
remember those kids, yes. Cassette tapes.
Yeah. And you save it all, you know, and at some point you go through it and maybe you find stuff, you use it later. Although I kind of prefer to just go fresh, just make something new, you know.
Do you find is there anything you've kind of thought, wow, that's a fresh new idea, and discover you did it 15 years ago? Do you find that they come back in a weird kind of way?
Yeah. I'll dig through the Tascam 4-track cassettes. I have a huge tub in the garage of literally couple hundred cassettes from the 90s, you know, from what year is this? 2020, so it's over 20
25 years ago.
Well, even longer than 25, 30, you know, 20, 29, 28, 30 years ago of cassettes. And, you know, every once in a while, you know, if I go through some of those, I'll come across, you know, some part, and that's what's cool. Let me just say that's the cool thing is if you can listen to a riff and be like, man, that's great. This is great. And then realize that, oh, that was me. Like I did this. Like the thing is you forget about that stuff. If you write enough, if you're always writing, you can't possibly remember everything. And you put the stuff down on tape. And if you can come across something later and be like, hey, this is great, you know, and then realize it's you, it's like, that's pretty cool. You know, that's like, hey, I mean, if I like this, you know, if this sounds good to me, you know, and if I wrote it, well, hey, I can use it, you know, and I can do something else with it. Somebody else is bound to like this, you know.
Well, the good thing about technology today now is that it gives a creative person like you, Johnny, an ability now to record and store the music that they make a little bit easier than recording onto cassette tapes that we used to do in the 80s and 90s. You know, you've got, you can use Reaper or Luna, you know, you just need an interface and away you go. And, you know, it sounds pretty good. I have to say that over the last year and a half since I've had this set up, it's given me an opportunity to play more than what I would have, rather than just noodling or mucking around, you know. So So you've got somewhere to organize your creativity, what you've done. You can go back to it. You can edit it. It's just fantastic. And, we're doing nothing different than from some of our established idols. They're doing the same thing. But what we've got now is an affordable way of doing it. So, yeah, it's inspiring. Technology now certainly gives a lot of young cats an ability to do things that probably we couldn't do earlier on, or made it difficult, harder maybe.
Yeah, much harder. Yeah.
I mean, you had to carry around a 4-track or whatever. Now you just need just a phone, just an iPhone has a sound recorder thing, and actually, I have a whole studio within my phone. Actually, I could
I've heard you talk about this. I've heard you talk about doing editing on your phone.
I have a whole studio within my phone, man. Where is it? I mean, I haven't used it lately. Is it here? It should be. Yeah.
Well, Caleb did his guitar, what is it, lines or whatever, all through his iPhone.
Yeah, look at that. I have a whole studio.
Yeah, you've got
here.
GarageBand. Can't go wrong with GarageBand, man.
GarageBand, multi-track. I've got a voice. I've got all kinds of crap there that I can use. And bless you, Simon. I think you were sneezing.
Yes. No, that wasn't. Oh. That wasn't sneezing, but fine. Thank you anyway. At that point, I wasn't sneezing. Just having a small seizure. That's all right.
Oh. No, my goodness.
So do either of you guys, when you're writing, Simon, or when you've done something original, and yourself, Johnny, over the years, and you've handed something over to somebody, whether it's something, Johnny, that you've had to hand over to the record company to be released, or Simon yourself, you've handed it over to another band member to add something to. Do you feel like you're giving something away from yourself? Now, the only reason why I ask this question is that Keith Richards talks about in his biography, when he handed over Satisfaction, he wishes that he could have kept that song just a little bit longer, just, to himself for a while before he handed it over. He handed it over too early with some regrets. Do you guys ever feel like that?
Well, I've never written anything, so I never have done it. I've never had. I'm a complete charlatan when it comes to being a musician. I play in covers bands. I do think Johnny do the noise in that I play other people's music because it's easy.
Brian.
And it's and that's the truth of it. So one of the great things about anyone's life, discovering who you are and stuff is, my dad's a composer. My dad was a composer. My dad did TV stuff and films and all sorts of stuff. I just don't have it. I do not have it as a talent at all. Where's it gone? Where's that genetic inheritance? Not in me, for sure. So, you can face facts, Simon. You're not going to be a composer. So, so I've never written anything, given it to somebody else in that way. I know what you mean. It's like giving birth to something, isn't it? And then giving it to something else. Johnny, you must have had that as a feeling a bit.
Yeah. And my problem is that pretty much everything I do, aside from these shows, is you can't control these shows. These shows are uncontrollable.
Sorry.
When you do a live show on YouTube, it's uncontrollable. You can't control it. You have no idea what's going to happen. But yeah, as far as music, I mean, my thing is I'm never done. It's never finished. It's never good enough. Never is.
The never finished thing. Yeah.
It's never finished. It's never finished. It's never done. And I do have music commercially out there on iTunes and Spotify, and I do have songs out there. Just search Johnny Beane on iTunes and Spotify. You'll find those, and they're from about 10 years ago. But if I was to listen to that stuff now, it's like, hey, the mix is pretty good, because I spend a lot of time mixing, a lot of time, so the mixes are good. but you know, I don't know. No, I mean, for me, stuff is never done. It's never good enough, and for me, it comes. Well, it depends. Depends if I'm working with a band, if I'm working with somebody, and I'm coming up with parts, and we make a song, and my parts add to that, and it's good. And if I'm not in charge of mixing, then it's different. If somebody else does that, they can do their own thing. Although I always like being involved in that. But let me just say, as far as myself, it's never good enough. It's never done. It's never done. No matter what I do, it's never done. And that's the cool thing about doing these shows. It's doing. Let me just say, doing these YouTube shows. Like I've been doing these things for years with different people. It's an extension of being creative. It's another side of it. It's another step of hey, I'm not playing the guitar in here. I'm not writing a song, but I'm talking about guitars. I'm talking about songs. The cool thing about doing this type of thing is there's always the next one. There's always tomorrow night. There's always Friday night. There's Saturday night. So there's always so as far as that's kind of where the energy has kind of gone, lately these days. And the past several years is from putting all the energy into music and writing the music. The energy now is doing YouTube shows, talking about stuff, being live. It's always about live. You got to be live. People want the live. Yeah. They want to be live, and I understand it. I get it. I know about it.
Saves on editing and things, doesn't it? Yeah.
But there's always tomorrow night. When you're live on YouTube, there's always the next one. So it's not, it's like you can be creative. You can I can talk about whatever on these things, but there's always the next time. So it's not, I don't have to, like this show tonight doesn't have to be the end all complete everything.
No.
Because I'll be live tomorrow night with Jay Hannon talking about something else or the same type of stuff or whatever it is, but what I'm trying to say is the energy, it's similar. It's a very similar type of thing. It's creating, it's making something. So instead of writing a song, recording a song, making a song, you're doing a video, you're making a video, you're doing a chat, we're talking so it's similar. It's very similar. And that's, I don't know if people understand that. I don't know if anybody, like you guys are saying, you guys are saying I've inspired, some people to do these type of things. Yeah. I don't know if they realize that's, to me, that's what it is. To me,
no, I agree. I think it's I understand where you're coming from when you're trying to make that parallel with that creative aspect, because that's something that Simon and I will give away. We'll give away a few little insider tricks to you guys in the chat if you don't know. We do a little bit of planning. There's always something. If we're going to another stage now of our shows where we're going to talk about a record, and as opposed to just talking about the time and the era and maybe a little bit about the band and what went into the production of the albums, we're actually going to go through the album song by song and say whether we're going to skip it or play it, and why are you going to skip that song and why are you going to play it, and that forces you to do a bit of research, Johnny and Simon, as you want to be prepared a little bit. But I understand too the creativity, the spontaneity, because we don't have a complete script, and you don't know what questions you're going to get in the chat. We have a small following following us, and they inspire Simon and I to try and present something that's going to be intelligent to our small viewers. Does that make sense?
There's two things, isn't there? One is the kind of what we do, which is kind of research and then talk about, bring our own ideas in. And then there's a kind of what you're talking about, Johnny, which sounds to me like improvisational comedy in a way. Yeah. you view it as a kind of improvisational thing, a creative thing that happens on a show as part of the show.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Yeah. When I go live, if it's with whoever it is, I have different people on the channel every
John
night.
or
There's different
Jay.
people, and there's not really a script. Yeah, we might have subjects to talk about. Hey, this happened this week. Oh, we should bring this up. Talk about this. But for I want to say for 100% of it, it's improvisational. There we go.
Yeah.
It's improv.
Yeah.
It's all improv, and that's kind of the cool, the cool thing. And you can't. Let me just say there has to be like I just ruined it by saying that.
No.
Anyway, there's definitely a connection, with who you're talking to, and it's anybody that's watching what I'm saying right now, what I'm saying.
Yeah. I think it's. I think that comparison with an improvisational comedy thing, which is viewed very much as a kind of an artistic process, that you view this sort of show in the same kind of light as a kind of not all comedy, but an improvisational thing which has an ebb and a flow and an emotional content and a funny, sad, deep, shallow, whatever it is.
But for me, comedy is a big part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much jokes here and there, but for me, it's not all serious. Because anything that's too serious, it's like it's just boring. It's just boring. You can't be serious all the time. There has to be some sort of not, there has to be some sort of comedy or
humor, light. You have to have some light with the dark.
There has to be humor involved in it. Otherwise, it's whatever.
That's why we don't talk politics. That's why we ban politics from our show. There's no political content whatsoever. None at all.
But we all use words like zeitgeist. It's can be found on the British Electric Blues show, Zeitgeist. And why not? Because that's where we are.
Mm-hmm.
Zeitgeist from the 60s, which is very current, apparently. No, well, it's funny. Going back to your creative thing, I was thinking when you were talking about that, about it's never finished. I was thinking about, of course, the classic person for it's never finished is Bob Dylan. Who train wrecks his songs and changes it around all the time. His point of view is the day I recorded it is one day in the life of that song, and on that day it sounded like that, and tomorrow it's going to sound like this. Something else completely. You could do it at different times, different time signature, different everything. But actually, tomorrow is a different thing. I think that's a pretty good way of looking at it. That so in a sense you sidestep the "is it finished yet" by saying that's what it looks like today, and tomorrow if I do it, it'll look like something else, which I think is pretty cool. I think it's a pretty cool way of doing it, and sidesteps the "is it finished yet" step. Kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. I think having other people involved is definitely it's a key. There's a thing to that where, let's say, if I'm working on my own songs, it's never done, it's never good enough, whatever. But I've had producers, I've had Desmond Child, I've had other people co-producing songs with me. I've worked with a lot of people. I've done songs for films. I've done a lot of guitar tracks for a lot of films that I've never seen, but they're out there. My guitar solos are in a lot of different things.
Wow.
But when you work with somebody, when you work with somebody else co-producing something, they push you. I've been pushed to make something better. Like I've seen it. Whether it's with Desmond or somebody else. It's like, hey, try this, try that. A little less of that, whatever. But I think as far as when you work with somebody else, it's a lot easier to let it go. Whereas when you're by yourself, it's like, oh, that's not good enough, but here it is, whatever. But if you're working with somebody else, it's easier to be proud about something. If you're working with somebody on a track or whatever that is.
Yeah. And somebody will say, as you say, less of that and more of that. And then somebody will also say, that's it. Won't they? They can say, that's it. You can stop now, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends. I mean, it depends on what it is. Depends on how late it is, how long you've been working on. Because at some point, the longer you're working on something, it's like, okay, it's good enough. It's done. It's done. It's finished. It's 6 in the morning.
We talk about a lot on our show about how constraints are very creative. Yeah, the Beatles made Sgt. Pepper's on 2 4-track tape machines chained together. If they'd had a 64-track,
that's cool.
That's really cool. No, that's really cool.
To me, that's cool, man.
That's brilliant.
I like that
because because actually their creativity is.
I could see that thing smoking. I could see the smoke coming out of the side of that,
But you just get round it, don't you? I want to make a record that sounds like this, Well, what have I got to do that? Not much. Well, let's do it anyway, and accept some of the limitation to it. Yeah. It's so I think that we're all about that, aren't we, Andrew? We're all about what are the constraints that actually people weren't held by to create brilliant records, brilliant songs, brilliant things of any description. In fact, you have to.
I think that's why Kenneth Womack's book, when it's going to be released next year, that's going to be talking about the relationship between Clapton and George Harrison, and that period where they recorded All Things Must Pass and Layla. It's going to be very interesting because we all know that Womack goes into very, very good detail about he just wrote a book called Solid State, released last year, talking about the recording disc that they put into Apple, and why Abbey Road is such a great album, because it's not just the Beatles, but it's the recording disc. It was the best disc available. And then he gives us all that information. And, that's the stuff we love, because we forget that, don't we? We just think of the band as just being the Beatles or Van Halen. We forget the role of the producer. That's why Ted Templeton's book is so important, because it talks about his role. And incidentally, I just finished reading a little bit about what he had to say about Clapton in his book, and it gave me some insight into Clapton, about how he motivated Clapton and how good he was, and just all that insider information.
Right back,
yeah, just love it, love it. And that's why, going back earlier, Johnny, I said, wouldn't it be great if we get a Van Halen biography? Wouldn't that be fantastic?
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, I grew up on every magazine, every interview, going back to I mean, when I first started in the 80s, the Guitar World was with Steve Rosen, who I've now I've gotten to talk to. He's around now. He's available, and I mean, it's crazy, man. I mean, the older you get, I mean, I'm only 29. Well, okay, 25. Okay. The older you get, I mean, you grow up with all the stuff, And then like for me, I can pretty much say I know my Van Halen.
Yeah.
I know
Guarantee.
a
Yeah, I
lot
know
of
you do.
stuff.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know a
yeah,
lot of stuff, which I really don't give away on these shows.
yeah.
I really don't, I kind of, the last so many years, I kind of play stupid on a lot of these shows. That's really what I've done, I let the people around me talk, I'm not saying you guys are brand new to this, but, people that have been around me for a lot of years, I let them say things, do the things, whether it's correct or not. I'll correct people, if it's, wrong or whatever. But I do know when I talk, when I talk on these shows, on this channel, I'm telling the truth. I know what I'm saying. Okay. And let me just say, I don't know. What was the question? I forgot. I don't know. I know what I'm saying. When I say stuff, I don't lie. I will not lie to anybody. I don't lie to the fans on here. I don't make stuff up. Okay. Let me just say we've had other people on here. They say things where it's I'm like, who knows what that guy's saying, but I will never lie to you guys. Okay.
And that's why the videos that you do with Rob Johnson, for example, when you guys have gone through eras and you guys are bouncing off and sharing information on, whether or not reverb was added on that Balance album, after or before, and what were the settings of the of the
well, now you're getting nerdy, but yes.
No, but you guys do talk about that, but so that's important. And I'll tell you why it's important, because it's a point that was brought up in the shows that Simon and I did earlier. One of our comments, one of the comments in the chat was, organic fans know stuff too. Just because you work for a guitar magazine or a publication and you're printing something about an artist doesn't give you the authority to be the know-all and end-all and say the truth.
Right.
Organic fans know probably more, and that's why social media is important for research in the future, because a lot of what Johnny, what you've just said, will probably contradict what some 20-year-old writing for guitar players going to write. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, that's why when I wake up every day, if I open up Facebook, I see the same people talking nonstop about the same things over and over and over and over and over and over and over again and over. It's the same things. It's the same posts, same people, same things, same debates. It's nonstop. It's whatever it is. It's like it's every day, same thing, same.
Okay, all right. So that gets me to a question then. All right, same thing, every day. All right. So the captain of the ship. The captain of the ship's going to throw you on a desert island.
Oh, the desert island question.
And he's got in one album Van Halen 1 and OU812 on the other hand. In the other hand, and he says, "Mr. Beane, which one are you going to have?"
That's how he says it, Mr. Beane.
Mr. Beane. Van Halen 1 or OU812? And I know that they're both significant albums for you because you discovered them both at the same time. So don't lie.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Go on.
Pretty much. But yeah, I'll say it. If I was to pick, I would take 0812. That's what I would take, because when it's love, man. For me, man, I mean the freaking verse to When It's Love, to me, that's power. It doesn't get old. And I love Van Halen 1. It's amazing. I mean, I've heard it. I mean, I've heard all this stuff a billion times.
Yeah.
But
Don't you think it's interesting that when it's love, there's a lot of Clapton licks there. So, Eddie's been playing those Clapton licks since he was 14 years old, when they were playing Cream songs. There's some Clapton stuff going on in there, man.
Clapton's one of his heroes. Isn't Clapton one of Eddie Van Halen's heroes? Is that right?
Yep. Oh, he's the hero.
The hero.
The hero. Clapton, Eddie Van Halen there would not be an Eddie Van Halen if there was no Clapton. Guaranteed.
Yeah. We spoke about that on with Steve Anderson the other night. You guys might remember a couple of years ago when Eddie's been interviewed by this woman for the Smithsonian Institute, and this poor woman hasn't done any research. Her research is pretty limited. And she's talking about Jimi Hendrix, and he growls her. He turns around and says, no, not Hendrix, Clapton. It was Eric Clapton. She assumed, I think, or whoever wrote her script assumed that, he'd be, a Hendrix nut.
I was offered tickets to that. I could have gone to that. I could have gone to that thing. And a friend of mine calls me up. He's like, hey, I have tickets for this. I can't go. Do you want to go to this? I think it was in Washington?
Yeah.
DC? Right. Is that where it was? Somebody's like, hey, a friend of mine. He's like, hey, do you want to go? Here, you can have tickets to this. And I'm like, yeah, I can't go. And they ended up going. And I'm glad they did because they got to meet Eddie, afterwards. They got to meet him and shake his hand, take pictures with him and all that. And I had already met Eddie before that. I'd already met him, before that. But I'm glad the friend of mine that offered me the tickets to that ended up going and ended up meeting him. I'm glad, cool. I'm glad he got to do that. But I don't know, but yeah. As far as I don't know what we're saying. Influence. I mean, yeah. You can't. I don't know.
Robot Master Switch says, if Clapton is EVH's sensei, does that mean that EVH is Johnny's sensei, and therefore Clapton is Johnny's grand sensei?
I guess. Well, I mean, the truth is, Marty McFly is my grand sensei. Marty McFly from Back to the Future. He was the reason the reason I wanted to play the guitar is because of Marty McFly. That was the total reason, and because of that cassette tape in the movie Eddie Van Halen, that riff, that's how I discovered Van Halen was through that.
And you've done a lesson on that riff too.
Years ago, some years ago when I was here. I should probably redo all that stuff. Actually, Liquid Charlie is actually doing a lot of stuff now.
Oh man, Charlie. He's smoking. Liquid Charlie's lessons are smoking, and a hack like me can follow them. Man, I've never been able to play anything close to man. Liquid Charlie is a legend. And he's been on your show a couple of times too. Humble guy.
Oh, we're friends. I've met him. We've met it now. Yeah. He's a great dude. He's one of the best as far as somebody that can play and that you want to meet. He's him. Liquid Charlie. Liquid Charlie. He's one of the guys where he can play and you meet him and he's just a regular dude. Like Eddie. Like when I met Eddie, he's just a regular dude. Liquid Charlie is just a regular dude. There's no ego. There's no, hey, I'm bitching. There's none of that at all. And that's what's great about some of these dudes. But I mean, that's, I don't know. I mean, that's how it is, but, whatever. Where are we? Let me just say real quick, I'm at midnight here, my time.
No, we're gonna go because it's 3 o'clock. Okay. So
okay. I know for you guys it's like noon. Yeah. For me, I have to wake up in like 5 hours to let Ned back in, and then And
That's
then
fine.
I have
Will
a.
you give us? Will you allow us both to say goodbye? Will you give
Oh,
us?
of course.
Johnny, I've got a big work in 20.
Well,
I've got a
yeah,
big
don't
work
hang
in
up.
25 minutes.
Don't hang
Yeah.
up because like I told you, Andrew, I told you I have an assignment tomorrow. I have a podcast assignment. I do these workshops. I've got these workshops I'm doing. And
so you can
I have
you
a
can
Zoom
podcast
meeting.
the show, man.
I have a Zoom meeting in 12 hours that I have to be at. I have to have a podcast done. And I was going to use some of tonight for that.
Oh, cool.
Please do.
So
Yeah.
So
We'd be honored.
I'll talk to you guys about that once we're done. So don't hang up.
Okay. No worries.
But hey, mention did I I think I pinned your channel.
Yeah.
The top of the
You
chat
did.
here.
Yes,
Do
you
see
did,
it?
Johnny. Yeah, I've got it. Yeah, I've got it.
Okay, so look at the top of the video here. You will see Fender Guru's channel. Make sure to subscribe.
Thank you, guys. We'd appreciate that.
Subscribe to his channel.
Yes.
And yeah, there it is. It's right there, pinned. Top Jet. I see it.
Thank you, Johnny.
Subscribe to Fender Guru.
Yeah.
And you guys will have to come back. We'll have to do.
Oh, thank you. That'd be good.
We're gonna have to do like a night where I've got Tuesdays, I've got Fridays, Saturdays. We're gonna have to do a night where you guys are here because let me just say, out of all the nights, I enjoy talking to you guys. You guys are cool.
Thank you. Thank you.
You guys have no egos. I like talking to you guys.
No. Well, he's an Englishman and a Kiwi, mate.
Yeah, diffidence and do yes.
Yeah. But no. Look, we appreciate the fact.
Vibe, isn't it? It's a different vibe. I think talking to us than talking to other Americans.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah. You guys are great, man. I mean, this is cool. I mean, we could do this, I mean, Fender Guru can take over. We can do a show where it's Fender Guru show over here, and you and Simon and I, where, you guys, I mean, this is great. I really dug tonight. Tonight was a lot of fun.
Appreciate it, guys.
Johnny, I really enjoyed it as well.
Yeah, thank you for having us, and all the cats in the chat that have subscribed to our channel, we appreciate it. And we've got some good friends in the chat, Johnny, that we've picked up from your show that followed us over to our show, and we always see them in other shows that we support too, and it's a cool community. It's really good to be part of that positive vibe of musicians and music fans being able to be at the forefront of, making social media a positive place. And I enjoy that. That's one of the cool things that I like about it. I like knowing that here in New Zealand, Hamilton, I've got a friend in Bristol. I've got some friends in North America, and
cool.
and their opinions on some things I look forward to because I've got some experience, So thanks everyone. Thank you, Johnny.
Yeah, thanks everyone in the chat, and thank you, Johnny, for having us. It's really kind of you.
I mean, thank you.
Good fun. Yeah,
thank you guys. And hey, don't hang up. Like I was saying, I have something. I have a podcast due tomorrow for this workshop. So if we can hang on, if I can create another quick session, if we can do just like a 3 to 6 minute thing, the two of us, or three of us, if we could just rap for like a few minutes. I can use that for my thing that's due tomorrow.
Cool.
Well, I mean, for you guys, it's daytime. For me, it's midnight. But just hang on.
No, we're hanging on. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everyone. Take care. See, we're British. We wave and kind of say goodbye.
Be cool.
All right, love you all. Love all of you.
Well.
Thank you for watching. Thank you so much. We love you all. Leave a thumbs up. Subscribe to Fender Guru. His name is pinned to the top there. And we'll be doing more stuff. And what's tomorrow? Friday. Jay Hannon and I tomorrow. Friday show. Saturday night show with John Beale. And then Sunday, I'll be doing an 8-hour stream on Twitch. 8 hours. Mancuda says he'll be there. So it'll be me, Mancuda, and whoever else jumps in. Sunday on Johnny B.
Sunday.
Johnny B will be on Twitch. So join me on Twitch. Join my Twitch channel. And all right, love you all. Don't hang up, you guys. See you guys tomorrow night. Love you all.
Bye.